PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get her down. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Just landed, about to turn the city to a ghost town. Floss God, all that chicken getting hog-tied. Better stick together, cause I'm coming for your whole squad. Players unknown, aim for your cheekbone. Put you on a tombstone, I'm a walking red zone. Dropping bombs like it's Vietnam. Gotta remain calm, better give some good comms. Hit your target, so get departed. Shooting like James Harden, been here since it started. Always gonna support it. Hit a crazy shot, I know I'm getting reported. Practice get you rewarded. Don't ride by me. If you in the boat, I'm leaving you in the sea. Another casualty, feel bad for my enemies. If you go against me, Floss God, bring the heat, it's in the game. PUBG, PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get it down. Flow is amazing, your style is basic. No, I'm not saving, whole team get wasted. Can't beat me, face it, don't get complacent. Blue zone, I'm chasing, no car, I hate it. But I love it, I'm addicted. Only thing I'm eating, I'm addicted to the chicken. All the PUBG players gonna feel it. Even in real life, I carry around a skillet. Season 11, barrel got nerfed, but the scar getting replenished. You can be my apprentice, whole team relentless. Your team defenseless, too big, tremendous. Floss God, no dentist. Real shooter, this is players unknown. Only game that can put you in the zone. No practice, had to get it on our own. PUBG, welcome to the real war zone. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get it down. Just jumped out the plane, gotta get to the road. Land quick, get a UAZ, put the pedal to the flow. My team gotta get in, I really hope we gon' win. Look up, there's a guy there, let's hit him right when he land. So we hit him with the whip, he dead, now we gotta dip. Drove off, hit a little bump, then the whole truck did a flip. Then the truck blew up, that driver, I can't stand him. Let's go run a 3-man, I can't stand playing with randoms. PUBG, that's life, only game that I like. You gon' lose your life, fuck around and get sniped. You just wanna have fun, and you better find you a gun. And if you can't find you no gun, then your ass better just run. Cause these dudes gon' blast quick, so you gotta land perfect. If you get knocked, GG's, be prepared to get thirsty. These dudes gon' shoot, better not wear boots. Better not stand still when you cycling through your loop. Get hit with a car shot. One shot, that's a headshot. Land quick, got a god drop. UMP with a red dot. Got a vest in a backpack, my enemies get melted. My whole team in a fight, and you still looking for a helmet. My car 9 is stained wood, that snipe shot feel real good. Same people that's trash is the same people saying get good. If I go down, you better save me. Floss on them, don't play me. How you gonna talk shit with a 1.5 KD? Landing all in my sector when it's top 10, it's no pressure. If your girl play it's whatever, I won't hesitate, I will wreck her. I hate that foggy weather, put your dude in a stretcher. You really think that you clever with that 4 times on that vector? I don't fuck with no Miramar, hot drop, I don't land far. Floss God, I got sick bars, smoke your ass like a cigar. Controller all in my hands, 1v1 you get destroyed. How you think that you nice, you play Xbox on a keyboard. This is PUBG, we don't play around. Want to get like me? Go play around in the training ground. Shoot all the weapons, try to figure out what gun you like. Always use the vert grip, we don't fuck with no laser sights. Comps over suppressors, get a knock, better push it. Always apply pressure, if you got the shot, better shoot it. Treat the game like real life, better think smart, better move right. You can't build no wall. What you think this shit Fortnite? Hate the game and I love the game, but I wanna know what y'all think. I know they said that they fixed it, but I still notice that desynced. I'm popping off like pimples. Always keep you a pistol, keep your head on a swivel. When the game is real simple, Floss. Comps over suppressors, get a knock, better push it. Always apply pressure, if you got the shot, better shoot it. Treat the game like real life, better think smart, better move right. You can't build no wall. What you think this shit Fortnite? Hate the game and I
I love the game, but I wanna know what y'all think. I know they said that they fixed it, but I still notice that desync thumb popping off like pimples. Always keep you a pistol, keep your head on a swivel. When the game is real simple, flaws.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Main Gaming Weekly Series. I'm your host, Stento, alongside my main man, Blitz5. As always, Blitz, how you feeling tonight?
Oh, feeling good, man. Excited to get into the games and get the official start of the Main Gaming Weeklies back going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, might have had one of the most hectic weekends of my life this weekend, but I couldn't feel more at peace and calm here sitting down waiting for this show that these console players are about to put on for us. One thing I've noticed, Blitz, is I think we're in a little bit of a roster mania type of situation. I'm noticing a lot of the top teams are shuffling players around, trying to figure out what works for them, what doesn't. So I think we're going to see a lot of interesting action here today.
Yeah, I saw a few things. You know, I'm not deeply aware of every little thing going on in the PUBG console community, but I do, keep an eye out for some stuff, and I see things on social media brewing here and there. And I did see some players making some moves and making some changes. So I'm kind of scrolling through the list now to see some of those changes. And but then I also see a lot of teams are still kind of together. So it's going to be interesting to see. But definitely we have a couple squads here and Quavoff moving around, and I'm excited to see how this plays out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, enough time wasted here. We are dropping in on our first match of the day, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like we've got a plane path from the right side of military base up towards George Pool here. Lots of teams already exiting the plane here early. Blitz, WC, RR, Capricorn Esports, CE there. You see a member of VIG dropping early. So it looks like some people are expecting this to come down south here.
Yeah, very interesting. I really want to kind of keep a look at on all these switch ups we were just talking about. I think I might see Soup is back in the mix here. It's just been a really interesting time for the console competitive landscape, with some people leaving and coming back. Obviously, when you're right, when main gaming coming back, we expect some people to show up, and they did. People are back for the events, and there's some good news for PUBG in 2023, the new beginning and the roadmap that brought a lot of good news coming to PUBG. So hopefully this will be another good year and kind of future for PUBG. And yeah, we are seeing kind of a big spread here, and we might even see a team hit Zarky, Stento, CK going all the way north on the lone Zarky drop, and they're actually going to have that completely by themselves, that whole top area.
Yeah, interesting. They were the last on the plane path for a little bit there. I was wondering maybe if they're going to drop on the north side of George Pool there, but they decided to push on to Zarky, get a little more loot, and looks like our early jumpers are going to be patting themselves on the back here, Blitz.
Wow. I mean, CK now has to be like, you're kidding me. We go Zarky. It's going to land here. No emergency pickups in esports, but that is going to change this year. They're going to be adding those things.
I can't wait for that
to
stuff
esports.
to enter this scene. It's going to make so many players mad, but it's going to add so many different dynamics, whether it's height being brought into play or just areas you can't reach unless you use that airlift. So definitely going to bring a lot of new, interesting aspects into the competitive scene.
Yeah, I'm with you. And just to point out what happened here in the kill feed, one of the members of Winter Circle, I don't know if there was miscommunication or what happened, he dropped with the CE squad here. So they kind of just bullied him. They cornered Kofry there and took him out. The rest of Winter Circle is actually at a smaller compound. Actually, there's one member that's
Ghosted is pulling up on someone right now.
Yeah, that's the other member of WC. There's another solo. Mitchu's here with the AK spots. Ghosted gets attacked, but didn't do too much damage. Excuse me.
Oh, she's in big trouble here. Put her down to 78 health already. She's just got nothing.
But does she have a weapon?
No
weapon
in her hand right now, so she's just playing a little bit of the ring around the rosy situation.
Trying to go for okie dokie. You're going to try to get back in the car maybe? Ooh, but it's too risky to go at that speed. But there is another car there. Mitchu's car that she might be able to go for.
She's playing it very smart because she can't get anywhere near Mitch. Her only option is to get in this car and get out of here. She's got to dodge the AK.
Oh my!
Mitch straight headies on her. Unfortunately, Vigorous is going to lose their IGL here early on, as did Winter Circle. If I'm not mistaken, Kofry has been the IGL for Winter Circle for some time now, and unfortunately, two of our more veteran squads here are going to lose their IGLs here, but it looks like Vigorous has Noxy on board, so they do have one of their veterans already in a great spot there. They need to get Gravy and Prodigy over the bridge. The rest of the map blitz is very far away. This first rotation is going to be very important for some of them.
Yeah, occasionally, you know, sometimes losing an IGL, obviously it's always unfortunate to be a player down, but then sometimes it allows that player to even do a better job helping with paying attention to zones and shifts and strategies and other information, because as we know, some of the top players here, famously, I remember Destroy and some of these guys would be doing so much in terms of calculating the other teams, how many players were left on those teams. Sometimes I think some of those guys even would write stuff down mid-game to kind of assist that. So some of the top level teams really go further than you would imagine for these kind of matches sometimes out there, depending on people listening out there. If you're a casual player, if you're a ranked player, I've had the chance to interview some of these players, and they actually are going a lot further than you would expect sometimes, at least some of the great players.
I'm excited to watch this VK squad. Quavoff, one of the more aggressive players that we have in PUBG console, whether it's ranked, whether it's a tournament. Quavoff is someone who's going to be getting active. I see that he's now partnered up with Tourney, who is someone we have just thrown their flowers time and again for his solo ability to just frag out. I think Tony's kind of bounced around from a couple different South American teams. I think he was originally with Genesis and has just bounced around. So seeing Quavoff paired up with Tourney here, I also am very familiar with Oki. He's a EU player, very veteran player. He's played with a lot of top teams. So Oki, a very brilliant mind here for VK, paired with the frag ability of Quavoff and Tourney. I'm not sure who Sweezy is. It might be someone we're familiar with, just with a different tag. But this is going to be a very interesting team to watch. If they're in the right spot today, Blitz, this team is going to be putting up serious kills.
Yeah, I'm with you. And we just saw them cross the bridge right now. Vigorous is underneath them. We're seeing the Crazy Mob block the other bridge, just pointing that out for people that are listening again. And we're looking at a couple teams go to Primorsk and Ferry Pier looking for both right now. So that's kind of the picture right now. Kind of the midfield, or the people that were in the middle of Erangel looking for rotations, and VK now starting a little bit of a firefight with Vigorous.
This is a pretty comfortable spot for the Virtual Kings on top of this hill, especially veteran players. They have the ability to be able to spread out on a hill like this, get some information on where the other teams are located, and potentially pick up some kills, you know. So we see some of the top teams play outdoor areas like this where they have the ability to shoot at other people and pick up kills in rotation. It looks like VK is going to prioritize getting themselves into a good spot right now, though.
Are they going to crash down low where the other Winter Circle team is here? They're definitely going to be looking for scouting some information here.
They're doing a little bit of a drive scout, and I think they've cleared this garage house. What I'm not sure they know is that there is a member or two just beyond. There's just one.
They're going to see that buggy. That buggy's backed into the blue building, one story.
Yep, Tony has already pushed up to the building where that solo is for Winter Circle. Michu is across the street. Superman's just to the north. I'm sure the comms are going to be pretty sharp from Winter Circle here as they try to help prevent this push onto their one.
Signs is going to have a sight line on Quavoff, but actually he just moved and Quavoff spotted him, so now they know that Signs is there. I think they're sending Quavoff because they might do a 2-1 push here, potentially, up the stairs.
Signs has a stunner in his hand. The util is now, as you said, coming out. They've definitely located this player here. They know it's just a solo or something by how he's playing it. Quavoff is going to do the job with the barrel. He's got players on his backside there, so that was going to be pretty easily handled there. Soup tried to show up and help, but the timing just wasn't right, and VK deal with him swiftly. However, Michu does get a knock onto one member there with Sweezy, but Tony's there to clean it up. Some swift plays from this VK squad, and what was an early split from Winter Circle really doesn't pay off for them there. The timing just wasn't right for them, and they're going to have to regroup for game 2.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I like that Soup and them tried to show up and save face a little bit there. Last-ditch effort, but it just did not work out, and VK is already out to like a strong start there. Their guns look accurate. They look like they're warmed up and ready to go. So they're definitely going to be a team to look out for tonight. Looks like if we go to the center of the island, TXC is actually surrounding RR right now. Center of the military base, that is. We have 2 knocks for TXC. They got Brody and Wisdown both in separate buildings, and now they're on the offensive.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm tapping into Charm's perspective here. He's got the 3x on the M4. He heard the shots from Shanks in the building. He does not know Tragic is in this shack just to his left, however. The rest of the team for TXC is starting to arrive with some lethal. RR holding strong, and it's going to be a nade from one of the members and the mutant in the hands of Boat. TXC off to a pretty swift start as well. This is another team we're going to have to keep an eye on. Some old members from the Dub Hub, Boatman, as you can see, have reformed this team here, and they brought in
This is a couple different teams here, is it not?
You
right?
have to
This
pay
is Tactical
attention to
Tremmy
Tacticals on the bottom. One of the most recognizable names, been doing this competitive scene for a long time, a little bit on and off, but he's been around for a while and definitely is one of the sharpest shooters we got out here. You have to keep an eye on Tacticals, and it looks like he's already blending in really smooth with Boatman and the rest of Team Toxic here.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Charm, but I know Boat and Tremmy are both aggressive players, so this is like a very aggressive team here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. While we were watching that fight, we had two teams drop on the apartment splits, and I believe the FSG squad took down 3 out of 4 members of the 187Zs. It's just a mistake now, hanging on behind a rock. He's going to let them rotate and see if he can maybe pick up some sneaky points for his squad here, but looks like these two will be battling it out for apartments now.
Yeah, we're probably going to see that continue on, especially with some of the teams that have switched players. I bet there's a lot of confusion about where certain people are going to be dropping. So there might be some teams dropping on each other in the first couple matches of tonight. We're about to get our first circle close, first circle pop. And wow, pretty big surprise here. Went back to the West Bridge and actually keeping a decent portion of the main land there. I mean, this most likely is still going to go to the island, but there is a good chance now it could pop back in a pretty dramatic shift because it did go pretty far north there, Stento. What do you think?
Definitely going to pay off for some of the late rotating teams there. It's going to keep them in play for another shift or two. I do think that this is almost definitely coming down to the island eventually. It's just going to buy some of the northern teams a little bit more time. Main Gaming's probably in one of the best spots here on the bridge. No one really near them on either side, so they're going to have a little bit of freedom to kind of push over to the south side of that bridge and see what they can kind of stake their claim in on that south side. Vigorous, again, has been there for a while since they lost Ghosted in that compound, and we know that they've got VK just to the south of them. VK is probably going to look to try to get into a better spot sooner than later. We know how proactive they like to play, so we'll keep an eye on VK. They've already picked up some kills, and they're going to be rotating pretty soon, I bet, but they're comfortable for now. Capricorn Esports, also coming in on the south side. It looks like they're just going to take that edge compound and kind of scout out what they can from there. Lots of teams out of the zone still blitz. We got Gemini Esports on the south side as well, just kind of on foot, kind of trickling their way into zone. And over on the east side bridge, CK is trying to find their way through Crazy Mob right now.
Yeah, I want to see how this bridge block goes. I don't know if they made it through the first part of Crazy Mob, but then they take out Coma.
Oh my gosh.
And Jaeger, and then the rest of the team goes down.
In sync. They let 2 go through so that the second 2 also tried to go over the bridge. The second that happened, they just smoked that second team, dropped them 2 out the car instantly. Crazy Mob shooting extra straight today.
Wow, that was a really smart maneuver by them to let that happen. We might see something brewing at the bottom side of the map here. TLL just crashed the ocean. RTN had actually just done the same thing, and TLL is going to be caught between RTN and GE. So just something to look out for. We might see some fighting soon between that. And now shots are ringing out between BH and RTN because they don't have a home. They're kind of stuck in the middle of the field. I think we're going to see some knocks here soon. Zemp goes down and flushed.
RTN losing 1 member there. 2 members are really weak. As you said, they don't really have a home yet, trying to work their way through this field. And they are super separated. I just noticed 2 members are still over in the water near Ferry Pier. So kind of a lost round here for RTN. But I want to bring your attention back down to the south side. TLL, the Toxic Lady Lasers, an all-female team, starting out their round with a nice knock onto Gemini Esports. Solar X is going down. Bully pulling one back, so we've got a 3v3 here, Blitz.
Yeah, Virgo throwing out some stunts. Crazy looking for an angle, but Red Eye's stuck on the tree. Lex with the AK trying to get some smokes down for some movement. Virgo taking half damage there. Lex a little shaky with the AK. Bully's down to half health, so people are kind of in a little bit of stalemate right now.
Yeah, it's a solid 3v3. I've seen some great shots coming out of TLL Crazy here. Musty, however, on the other side of things, takes down Virgo, and Bully takes down Crazy. Lex is there for the trade onto Bully.
The trade from Lex. Lex with a double.
She needs to get one more. She just dropped Red Eye after Bully. It's up to Musty. Wow, that mutant is so devastating these days. Puts her down to 4 HP with just one burst. Maybe that was 2 Blitz, but that was insane. It's going to be...
And Lex is going for the revive instead of the first aid stint, though.
Wow, I like the play. She does get one up here. Musty's looking for an angle. I think they have callouts from Virgo of Musty's location. They've rotated around the tree. Musty with the Vector does get a knock, though. It's going to need to be Lex with that AK. She has to look up for the Vector. Not a gun you can mess around with, Blitz.
Yeah, tough push. She's got a Molly, though. Could Molly the rock here? I think we're going to see that come out. Molly left side. Look right here. Classic play. At this distance, will Musty run into the Molly? Musty misses. Can't come down, though. Third party's coming in from Alphonic.
Oh, my gosh.
But they get
what
the kill.
A great 1v1 there between Musty and Lex. Lex was trying to go 3v1 to bring it back, but Musty with the Vector holds strong. He actually picked up 3 of those kills his own there, and he's going to have to sneak into zone here. We have 12 teams alive, still Blitz 43 players as this pulled back to the north side a little bit. MG definitely in the most advantageous position here, leaving Ernster and Swag on the bridge while sending Doc and Acid Burn down into the complex down there. So they're in prime position here. Lots of other teams. VK now rotating right next to Vigorous here. So
yeah,
this
just
is gonna
sneaking
be some
right into the edge of zone.
Area.
Wow, what a fight there, Sento. That was my first hand on the head of the tournament already. We're just in game 1. Couldn't believe that. Went for the revive. Also, you mentioned it. We saw the devastating power of the mutant with the recent update. Been seeing people use that.
Unbelievable.
In regular and also...
and Musty there.
Yeah. Been seeing that in ranked, and it's just once you get used to it, it's so strong. I think we saw Quavoff using it at one point. It's almost unfair at that range once you get good with it, because it is for people listening after the update. It is the strongest AR in the game, even past the care packages. It's just the downside is obviously the mag capacity and also your ability to hit that burst shot. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, it was an impressive first showing from the Toxic Lady Lasers. We'd seen a version of them earlier on in our weekly series Blitz with the Clam crew. So I think this is some sort of a recreation with Virgo and Crazy.
That's right, I remember that.
They put down such a great fight to start there. Almost won that 4v4 versus
yeah, so close.
Esports. And some really impressive work from their final player there, Lex, to hold it down and almost get 3 kills there to bring the whole team back. I think the third parties started to bring a little bit of a factor into that. And Tourney, we already talked about him today. We're always giving him his flowers, and right there, a 3x barrel spray to drop one of the members for Vigorous. It doesn't look like VK. It does look like Quavoff is sending it immediately. I was about to say they're not getting aggressive on it, but Quavoff immediately proving me wrong. Pulled up in a little bit of a weird spot. He got kind of stuck on the wall there. He is right all up in there, Blitz, now, and he doesn't really know that there's just 2 players left. This is Vigorous, so maybe they caught the action earlier on, but I think they were rotating. So Quavoff pulled right up on this, no hesitation, not even knowing that this was a broken down squad.
Yeah, oh, he just runs right into Noxy here, who is holding very patiently, but Tourney flanked around.
Wow, yeah, Noxy's not someone you can give any sort of light of day. Noxy takes down Quavoff instantly. The third party from up on the hill pushed Tourney away, but not before he could drop Noxy with a nice shot. So that Capricorn Esports team really is playing a factor here, and it's down to just Prodigy in this 2-story here. Vigorous is going to get back up to 4 strong with that revive on Quavoff. They're going to lose Noxy and Gravy here for sure.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way they're going to get up here. And Prodigy, this is a hard building to hold by yourself here. And he's getting shot from every window. They're going to double push here. Prodigy's half health. I think they're just waiting for the stun to wear off from Tourney. Another nade coming in, stuns coming in. They just naded the closet. Prodigy actually hopped out at the perfect right time. It might come behind them.
Oh, it's the AK versus
Tourney,
the barrel and
Sweezy,
the railings.
excuse me.
Oh, just unfortunate there. It was a great play out of Prodigy to try and catch them off guard. Doesn't work out in his favor, though. VK continuing to roll here in game 1. They've already got 6 kills, Blitz. However, we need to direct our attention to the north side a little bit. OH and the rest of Torch on the edge of blue here just took down this RTN squad. It's going to be just Light is up. It looks like he's scouring the boxes for all the first aids in the game. He just picked up 11 of them. So he's going to be able to, if timed right, get into zone over the bridge, I think. He does have to go all the way to the mainland, though. None of that bridge is in anymore.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty dangerous. We're seeing a fight between BH and there's, I think, only one member, two members up from THE here. SkyToy with the knock and the flush coming out.
Yeah, it's down to
And
just
we have a 1v1
1v1
here. SkyToy versus Woulda.
Woodaz gets it done there. He's going to be able to at least try to get one of these revives. I think he's going to be able to get Muerte up. And this BH squad, we haven't talked about them. It's their, I believe Bloodhound is their first time joining one of the main gaming weeklies. They already have 7 kills in their first game blitz. They're going to be able to get back up to 2 strong here.
Did not notice that they already had 7 kills. That's amazing here. Will Muerte be knocked? No, I don't recognize the name, so it's great to see some new blood in here for sure, at least for me, personally.
We'll have to keep an eye on them. 7 kills, and we didn't even see them really in the kill feed, so great first game for BH. Still 2 strong here. I'm keeping an eye on MG here. They've already picked up 3 kills, and they've got all sorts of angles between Acid Burn, Ernster, and Doc X, all kind of putting pressure on this FSG squad on the coast.
Yeah, so what I'm really liking here for Main Gaming tonight is that they kind of went for a center approach. A lot of times I see Main Gaming kind of playing the outside, and they got a lot of circle up here, so they could really capitalize on this, but they have a pretty big split, but it seems like it's going to pay off because there's only 2 of FSG and 2 from Team 10 running in, so hopefully the split will pay out. Swag is trying to get these knocks on BHE as they run in, and Doc X is watching FSG at the same time. Swag trying to get the knock. They get it on Muerte as he crosses the street, and then that gets Woulda gets knocked from OK, and both those members go down. That team has been eliminated.
Yep, final 2 members of Bloodhounds go out to a combination of the shots from Ernster and Oki for VK. I'm keeping an eye on the blitz here. The bridge here, blitz. Torchlight is still in play. He's got first aids. He's really the only thing that can spoil what's been a pretty easy coasting round for Main Gaming so far. There is still 1 member of FSG here, and if you go further down the bridge, Crazy Mob 4 deep still, and they've got care packages. Always a force to be reckoned with, this Crazy Mob squad. We've seen them do some big numbers in games. We've seen them win Main Gaming weekly series. We've seen them in the top 3 several times, so we'll have to keep an eye on this team. They've got the TXC squad, Boatman, and the boys hanging out just to the south side.
I think we're going to see CE, a big fight between VK here, Sento. They're being held out by CE. And this is going to be pretty big because right now TXC has most of the circle. This game is kind of there. It's going to be all these other teams fighting to get in the zone. Main Gaming might have a free run-in because CE is going to have to focus on VK. Right now, and Sweezy's kind of leading a charge around the side. These teams might run into each other a little bit. There might be a little mayhem here between 3 different teams on this west end.
Yeah, I didn't see when the Virtual Kings lost Tourney, but they're down to 3. Capricorn Esports as well lost 1 member, so there's a little bit of a 3v3 standoff going on here.
Yeah, I'm in Sweezy's perspective. OK just got tagged from Main Gaming, so they have to watch their left. Quavoff's looking to the right as well here, trying to find their way in. They're really getting held up strong here from CE.
Yeah, it looks like the third parties are gonna push this VK squad to the south side. I think VK is just trying to get that first knock so that they can push directly. Elsewhere, you're seeing some
Let me know
knocks
who you're
from Crazy
spectating
Mob
here.
onto TXC. Right now, I'm watching Quavoff. I'm very interested in watching this VK squad first game. Try to get into zone. However, Frisky is there to drop Oki. The DP up the hill. Doesn't get an knock.
Quavoff with such a good
Frisky
target
jumps out, gets another
acquisition and
knock.
double kill.
It's just Quavoff versus the final member of VE. He's behind him. He puts him weak, though. It's BP's hanging out on the low side. Doesn't know Quavoff re-challenge during his reload. Quavoff gets the job done. I believe there's more teams. It's Main Gaming now pushing on. They know they need to find this final member of VK. It's Quavoff, though, so you have to be careful. Elsewhere, Crazy Mob has totally wiped Team TXC. One of our teams to watch is out here, Blitz. It's just 1 member left for VK. Quavoff on the edge is going to have his hands full with the entirety of Main Gaming. Acid Burn does the job there with the Scar. Main Gaming 9 kills in this first round. They've got a 3-man of Crazy Mob and a solo that came off the bridge. 4-team torch. It's going to be light. Actually made it in with those 11 first aids, Blitz.
Isn't that amazing that you almost would think, what's even the point? But now he's in the top 3 here and could even come in 2nd place because we're probably going to see a skirmish between Main Gaming and Crazy Mob. And of course we missed it because we were catching the action there with Virtual Kings, but Crazy Mob taking down TXC. You know, sometimes Crazy Mob, I feel like they always have a great like 75% of the match, and then at the end, it might not go in their favor. So it was great to see them make an aggressive play, take it out, and now be in the final three. And we're going to see a nice fight here between these two teams that seem to be doing pretty well off the bat tonight.
Yeah, Crazy Mob and Main Gaming both have 9 kills.
Wow.
Problems is hanging out on the low side here, and he hears the barrel shots from Swag. I'm not sure he has any idea how close the rest of Main Gaming is, and Doc X pokes over the top, straight headshots with the barrel, takes down Problems. It's just 2 members left. A little bit of an aerial.
And Bliv is so far away, Stento. He's so far, he's not going to be able to help in that distance.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic to this fight. Main Gaming want to get involved. They want to be aggressive here, but the Crazy Mob was so split. They know Droppa is on the tree in the smoke close by, and a nice Kobe from Ernster is going to take him down. Now it's just 2 solos. Bliv up the hill. And
Torch behind them.
Light, yep, representing Torch on the north side. So a 4-man Main Gaming showing out here in round 1, efficiently working through the interesting spread we were seeing out of Crazy Mob here. They know that Droppa's in the smoke there. They've got the drop on to Bliv on the hill as well. They seem to just be pretty content hanging center zone, trying to figure out what their next play is to deal with these 2 solos.
I'm just really stoked about all this action, Sento. I mean, I love seeing this.
There you go.
All the even teams here. And look, Torch making his spoiler debut by taking out Swag, going for the care package.
And this is going to be very interesting. These solos have the chance to take down a 4-man Main Gaming. Swag looked like she was going for a package there. It's just going to be up to Doc X. He's trying to figure out what the exact play is. Do I try to go for the revive? Do I just hold here and keep Torch light on the hill and we stay as a 3-man? You can kind of see his thought process as he prods around, pokes around on this hill, trying to figure out his next play. He's waiting for the rest of the squad. Acidburn and Ernster just noticed that Torch member peek over the hill. Acidburn has seized, got the 4x scar, spraying him back a little bit.
I think they're doing a smart play here. I think they're going to go and try to get Torch out first. They might even try to pick up Swag here and save this, which could be honestly huge for them. Now Doc needs to just get ready to defend from the side. If Bliv was playing aggressive, this is the time he needs to strike right now, right? But he might not know exactly what's going on.
This is
from
quite
his
the
perspective.
interesting end game here with 2 solos and the 4-man Main Gaming. Light wasn't able to get the thirst onto Swag, but still playing this side of the ridge.
Yeah, this is not an end game that you would normally see here. I like that Main Gaming's playing together, though, to be honest with you, because this is how you lose fights, by doing something, getting too cocky and kind of flexing out too early. Ernster taking some damage there, a little return fire from Doc, but he actually damaged both of them up. But Astronsbird's making a really good flank here from the side, and is going to be able to take out Light there. Now it's a 4v1 Stento.
Acidburn leading the charge here with 5 kills. Main Gaming look like they're going to take this first game of the weekly series. We have 5 matches here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back on a wrangle for match 2 after we watch the closeout from this game. Bliv, he does have a weapon that you got to respect. He's got that MK. Very easy to use on auto with that spray, so they have to be careful here. He's already taken down 2 players.
This could be a huge turnaround right now. You have to imagine there's a big momentum shift right now. Sento mentioned it, the MK.
He's got tons of frags too. Main Gaming need to respect this weapon. They get the thirst onto Ernster. More nades are going out in Doc X's direction.
He's still got 2 more. This could be devastating, Stento. This nade here.
Swag's going to get re-knocked by that nade. Actually put down to 7 health. Another nade is coming in. That first nade is going to need to go off. It doesn't. Wow. Another stunner coming out. Acidburn's going to need to win this 1v1 versus the MK.
She's not at full health, Stento. Getting caught off guard. Bliv's now taking out 3 members.
Impressive play from Bliv here.
Stun coming out.
He does it.
Wow.
4v1. Drops Main Gaming with the most deadly weapon in the game. I was calling it out. You have to respect this weapon. They kind of recklessly charged over the hill. It's going to be something that they're biting them, you know, kicking themselves all night about, but Bliv gets the job done. That's a 4v1, ladies and gentlemen, and the Crazy Mob is going to take game 1 of that. Whew! With what, 13 kills? Let's get back to our intermission screen here.
Wow. What an ending, Stento. That was absolutely insane. I mean, I'm trying to process it now after the fact. I would imagine that at that point, Main Gaming had exhausted all of their utility at that point, and I think that Bliv had so much utility. I'm guessing he had to have picked up some stuff maybe from Droppa's body or somebody in that area. He had the perfect combination. They had to go to him. He had the MK, he had the throwables, but most importantly, he hit the shots that he had to hit. And Main Gaming did not all go at one time. They didn't have any utility. And honestly, I don't even know if they really got a shot on him after they hit him first, got him down to 80, and then I don't think they hit him again after that.
It was clean.
Holy crap.
I mean, we mentioned it right as it was about to unfold. He was on the ridge that needed to be on with the most deadly weapon in the game. He dropped 2 players before we even knew it happened. And at that point, a 2v1 trying to get into zone through the ridge he had, it's almost like he has the advantage, but you have to hit your shots. And a 4v1 is never an advantage. That is just insane plays out of Bliv. He put himself in the perfect spot and he hit the shots. There's nothing else to say about it. You don't see a 4v1 happen in the end game almost ever in a competitive esport. So you have to tip your hat to Bliv. Main Game is going to be kicking themselves for that one, but we got 4 more matches here. It was a good start for them, minus that gap.
Absolutely.
So we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with match 2 of the evening. Once again on our angle. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in just a minute.
PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get her down. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Just landed, about to turn the city to a ghost town. Floss God, all that chicken getting hog-tied. Better stick together, cause I'm coming for your whole squad. Players unknown, aim for your cheekbone. Put you on a tombstone, I'm a walking red zone. Dropping bombs like it's Vietnam. Gotta remain calm, better give some good comms. Hit your target, so get departed. Shooting like James Harden, been here since it started. Always gonna support it. Hit a crazy shot, I know I'm getting reported. Practice get you rewarded. Don't ride by me. If you in the boat, I'm leaving you in the sea. Another casualty, feel bad for my enemies. If you go against me, Floss guy, bring the heat, it's in the game. PUBG, PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get it down. Flow is amazing, your style is basic. No, I'm not saving, whole team get wasted. Can't beat me, face it, don't get complacent. Blue zone, I'm chasing, no car, I hate it. But I love it, I'm addicted. Only thing I'm eating, I'm addicted to the chicken. All the PUBG players gonna feel it. Even in real life, I carry around a skillet. Season 11, barrel got nerfed, but the scar getting replenished. You can be my apprentice, whole team relentless. Your team defenseless, too big, tremendous. Floss God, no dentist. Real shooter, this is players unknown. Only game that can put you in the zone. No practice, had to get it on our own. PUBG, welcome to the real war zone. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get it down. Just jumped out the plane, gotta get to the road. Land quick, get a UAZ, put the pedal to the flow. My team gotta get in, I really hope we gon' win. Look up, there's a guy there, let's hit him right when he land. So we hit him with the whip, he dead, now we gotta dip. Drove off, hit a little bump, then the whole truck did a flip. Then the truck blew up, that driver, I can't stand him. Let's go run a 3-man, I can't stand playing with randoms. PUBG, that's life, only game that I like. You gon' lose your life, fuck around and get sniped. You just wanna have fun, and you better find you a gun. And if you can't find you no gun, then your ass better just run. cause these dudes gon' blast quick, so you gotta land perfect. If you get knocked, GG's, be prepared to get thirsty. These dudes gon' shoot, better not wear boots. Better not stand still when you cycling through your loop. Get hit with the car shot. One shot, that's a headshot. Land quick, got a god drop. UMP with a red dot. Got a vest in a backpack, my enemies get melted. My whole team in a fight, and you still looking for a helmet. My car 9 is stained wood, that snipe shot feel real good. Same people that's trash is the same people saying get good. If I go down, you better save me. Floss on them, don't play me. How you gonna talk shit with a 1.5 KD? Landed all in my sector when it's top 10, it's no pressure. If your girl play it's whatever, I won't hesitate, I will wreck her. I hate that foggy weather, put your dude in a stretcher. You really think that you clever with that 4 times on that vector? I don't fuck with no Miramar, hot drop, I don't land far. Floss God, I got sick bars, smoke your ass like a cigar. Controller all in my hands, 1v1 you get destroyed. How you think that you nice, you play Xbox on a keyboard. This is PUBG, we don't play around. Want to get like me? Go play around in the training ground. Shoot all the weapons, try to figure out what gun you like. Always use the vert grip, we don't fuck with no laser sights. Comps over suppressors, get a knock, better push it. Always apply pressure, if you got the shot, better shoot it. Treat the game like real life, better think smart, better move right. You can't build no wall. What you think this shit Fortnite? Hate the game and I love the game, but I wanna know what y'all think. I know they said that they fixed it, but I still notice that desync. I'm popping off like pimples. Always keep you a pistol, keep your head on a swivel. When the game is real simple, flaw.
Comps over suppressors, get a knock, better push it. Always apply pressure, if you got the shot, better shoot it. Treat the game like real life, better think smart, better move right. You can't build no wall. What you think this shit Fortnite? Hate the game and I love the game, but I wanna know what y'all think. I know they said that they fixed it, but I still notice that desync. I'm popping off like pimples. Always keep you a pistol, keep your head on a swivel. When the game is real simple, flaws.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to the Main Gaming Weekly Series. 5 matches, 17 teams, $1,000 on the line. As always, we're about to drop into our second match of the evening. Before we do, we got to give a massive shout out to Floss God and on his new debut album, Welcome to the Battlegrounds. If you've been hearing that music we've been playing on our intermissions, Floss God has been a PUBG content creator for some time. He streams here on Kick. Please make sure you go check him out. Give him his flowers for this album because I've been bumping it nonstop. I wanted to bring it into our intermissions. He granted us that access. And so please give some massive shout outs to Floss God. His album, Welcome to the Battlegrounds, is out on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes, you name it. Go get it. Go listen to it. You won't be disappointed. Massive shout outs to Floss God. But Blitz, we're dropping in on match 2. Plane path looking like George pulled back. Pretty similar to our match 1 plane path, but a little bit reverse.
Yeah, just reverse. And yeah, big shout out to Floss God, very talented guy. I mean, love all the stuff he does. And I haven't listened to the whole album yet, but I've caught a few songs. I've obviously heard ones in the past, and great so far. But looking forward to catching the rest of it. So yeah, big shout out to him. And yeah, it looks like we're going to see probably people go to a lot of similar places because it is a very similar flight path. And honestly, Sento, how about that last game, man? Crazy Mob mobbing out. I mean, they have to feel great. Main Gaming has to feel crushed, but at the same time, feel great because that was such a good start to the weekly series. And something that I'm really liking is that for so long, we just would see a few teams kind of just dominate. And we saw so many teams with the 7, 8, 9 kills there, even that new squad, the Bloodhound gang, BH. So that's awesome to see. That makes me stoked. that makes it more exciting to watch. You know, there's a lot of people to root for. If you guys don't have a team you're rooting for, maybe pick one of the newer teams. And having a team or a player to root for in these kind of events, I feel like makes it better, right? In any sport, it's nice to have somebody to root for, or a team to be a part of. So it just makes it a little bit more fun.
Absolutely. The reason that we are running these events is to help grow the scene. We want to make sure that anyone that's listening, anyone that plays PUBG console, any of our main gaming events are free to join, and they're welcome to everybody. We are so dedicated to growing this scene. So any support you show for the main gaming team, whether it's hanging out in the streams of our content creators, subbing to the main gaming stream, it's much supported, and I promise you it all goes funneled directly back into events for the community. So please and thank you for all the support that we see. And again, we're just dedicated to putting on free to join events, growing this scene, putting more eyes on it. And it's important to remember that every single team here tonight is required to have a representative live, whether it's on Kick, whether it's on Twitch. We will help you find those streams in the chat. If you are looking for them, we have moderators to help you. So please go show these teams some love. We really want to start to build up these teams, build up these orgs, and start to show their stories. So you'll start to see us incorporate some interviews and some information about these players and their teams as some more of our content in between games. But for now, Blitz, First Circle has shifted way to the west side. The Toxic Lady Lasers, that's a tongue twister, hanging out in Quarry are going to be pretty comfortable. Main Gaming not in a bad spot, and that new team as well, the Bloodhound, in a great spot as well near Gatka. So many teams are going to have a very long first rotation once again.
Oh, absolutely. And just a small thing I want to point out here is that Quavov didn't jump with this team. I don't know if he got disconnected or had issues, but he's parachuting he's still parachuting, which is hilarious, towards kind of trying to get closer to his team, maybe find a boat or something that he could pull up. I'm guessing he'll probably end up pulling up to 12 stack or somewhere over there and then trying to drive in. I'm not sure exactly what his plan is going to be, but we definitely have to watch out what he does here.
Looks like he's getting in a boat immediately and rotating the zone. I'm very excited to see what he actually does. He might just go all the way to zone and try and loot something on the edge. And
I mean, it could make sense for him to go to Primorse, right? Because there's really no way to get up at 12 stack. I mean, yeah, I'm not really sure what his options are.
Taking a quick look at the map, it looks like we do have another hot drop on apartment split. So the 187Zs versus FSG.
And knocking it up on double drop off the bat.
Yeah, I love to see that. Some of these teams are regulars in these events, and staking out your claim is very important. You don't want to be someone that is known for getting run over and pushed out of drops. So both 187Z and FSG holding strong here, and they really want this center of the zone apartments drop. It's such a great spot to rotate out of, and it looks like FSG starting things off again. They double pushed mistake over here. So last survivor for the 187Zs in round one is the first one out this game.
What's tough kills me. I know, I mean, this is a famous spot, so obviously I'm on the wrong end of history here, but I just kills me that people fight out here so much because it's just such a bizarre place to fight with all these levels and different rooms and bathrooms and stuff like that, right?
Early spot to fight. Anything can happen, you know. Anyone can hit a shot through some windows, peek at the right or wrong time, land a grenade onto a roof, whatever, you know. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I don't know why people. I understand the loot.
Right? How are you going to rotate out of this? I know there's a team here with you. It's mutual destruction if you're going to both stubbornly drop here. But
100%.
More than anything, I understand trying to stake your claim. So
yeah, same.
You know, you got to try to weigh your battles there. Like, are we going to throw multiple tournaments in an effort to get this location long term, or are we going to, you know, back off and try to play our own game? So we see it nonstop, whether it's the pro scene on PCs, whether it's the pro scene we have here on console. You see it all over. Teams are battling with this every day and really trying to figure out what is the right play. Oh my god, it's almost a 2v1 by Savage.
Almost got it.
I think the Scar let him down there. Turbot was put down to 4
They need the
HP.
other team here to push, and Legend's doing so weak with the ump, though, and Sane's got to come in here. They need to really help each other out. Legend goes down, though, and Sane's here just with a nade, but they actually just went inside.
Yeah, the
Frames is watching from the top roof, so if Insane pushes, he's going to get hit from Frames on the top.
Yeah, great spot by Frames to get up there and take that location. Kind of just totally limiting the ability of some of this team to be able to push the other building. So it's a great spot. Some might call it a little wormy, but that's a heads-up spot in a drop like this. He's got a shotgun. Most of these players just working with the bare minimum. Scars. Bison's Insane is going to take down one of the members of the FSG squad, and they are currently too strong pushing in. They have 2 knocked already. Insane is a force to be reckoned with, so they have to be careful. He has a Bison as well.
Wow, smart play, switching to the Bison.
Gets his job done through the door crack. Was snipist, so he's going to have some revives to take care of. It looks like he's going to be able to get the full squad up. So FSG being stubborn with their drop here, but it's paying off. They're taking care of the 187Zs. Now it's time for 187Zs to kind of regroup and think about what they're going to do on the next rounds on this map, because FSG does not look like they're going to give that up, especially once they're winning these fights and getting some early game kills.
Yeah, it stinks that the end play there was so good, but it just wasn't enough there. And unfortunately not getting any points. That's going to help out FSG a lot, having 4 strong. But obviously if they get those players get knocked again later on, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get them up, having the faster bleed times. And right now I'm trying to take a look at some teams rotating.
The Toxic Lady, sorry, I'm whispering because they just cut their engine and pulled up on MG. So the Toxic
I just
Lady
noticed that they're here.
Pulled up into this swamp. I don't know if they like it. I think they scoped out. I think they saw MG. They're going to try to go somewhere else.
I see, they're driving away. This is a hairy spot to play, man. I don't know if I've ever had too many successful games trying to hold this out or leave this compound. Kind of one of those situations that seems good at first, but then it usually gets pretty crazy when the circle closes over here eventually, but that's way later. And main game is going to be fine here for a long time. And again, just want to throw out that I'm loving this center strat for main gaming. They're just such a team that can compete. And a lot of times I feel like they kind of get lost on the outskirts of some of these zones. So I'm really loving this new strategy. I don't know if that's something you've noticed in the past, but I feel like main game is always playing on the outskirts. So I'm happy to see a little bit of a change up for tonight's weeklies.
Yeah, paid off for game 1. They got tons of kills. Almost had that chicken there, besides for the insane plays out of Crazy Mob Bliv there. But they're still going to be happy with the second place with whatever, 13 kills, whatever they had. So a great start for main gaming. We love keeping an eye on one of our own here. So love to see them centered up. They've got Vig just to the south side of them. We've got several teams now comfortable in zone blitz. RR rotating. Looks like they're going to go to Quarry. Crazy Mob is going to be just to their east side, southeast side, and there's still several teams like Winner's Circle and TXC and that FSG squad up at school that still need to make their rotations here. So we're seeing a little bit of a mid early game stall here as teams hashed out their hot drops and made their rotations.
Yeah, Red Eye got knocked here just at the swamp, kind of west of Gaka, and I think we might see a late push. THE's coming in kind of slow off the knock. The revive comes off on Red Eye.
Interesting. It looks like they're pushing. Italian is leading the way.
Is this the Italian is the question. I'm not sure. Is this a different account, or is this the Italian another kind of well-known console?
Yeah, he's been around. My understanding, that's him.
It's hard sometimes. Players will, change their names, and sometimes they're making competitive names and slight iterations. Excuse me.
I'm trying to figure out if Italian has been sweating Overwatch, because Ultimates is what you use in Overwatch. So if it's the Italian, yeah, I think he might be an Overwatch sweat. We'll have to keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, a few other games use that terminology. Maybe he's been playing some other games. Coming back to pub now.
Gemini Esports do get that revive, and they get back up to 4 strong. It looks like they've had enough of the swamp blitz. They're going to boulder their way up the hill and get up to that golf ball observatory, whatever you want to call it, complex. They're going to hang out up there, it looks like.
Wow, so we're getting ready. The zone is about to pop here. I just want to say that Quavoff made it to Primorsk and has been looting Primorsk for the last 5 minutes, just completely by himself. And CE is actually rotating below Primorsk on the boat, but they're not going to be stopping at Primorsk because the zone just shifted way far north here. And FSG is still deep in the blue. They haven't even left apartments and school yet, which is nuts. They're just hanging out. Phase 2 now, not a big deal.
Well, that's part of the hot drop downfalls, right? You win or lose a fight, and at a place like a school apartments, you're gonna have little to no loot after you fight a team there. And again, you saw them with SMGs and shotties and stuff. So trying to regroup and figure out where you can loot and what hasn't been looted, and that's just part of that, So they're kind of going through those hot drop woes, even though they're winning the fight, and I think they picked up 7 kills in early game in first 2 matches off of the 187Zs. But how well does it set you up for late game? You know, we saw them coming off of the shore, and Main Gaming, I think, wiped them off the shore as they crashed a boat late game because they weren't in a good spot, you know. So you really do need to weigh those options with the hot drop, with your rotations, figuring out how to get into the right spots at the right time. It looks like CK has found Gemini Esports here. They're a little bit intertwined. Bazaar's going to take down Red Eye to start things off, and on the other side of the water, Musty's got a Vector in his hands. I'm going to see if he can hold off these other two. It looks like he's using the sound cues to his advantage.
Musty and Coma pulled up at this compound at the same time when you were talking, and now these reinforcements from CK, but Musty, like you said, has the Vector, so if they go for a 2-for-1 push, the Vector could be devastating here.
They're taking it slow. I'm not sure if they had a little bit of an engagement prior to when I got over here, so they know they're dealing with a Vector. They're using all the Molotovs they have in their arsenal to kind of smoke the place out. Musty's comfortably inside with that Vector. He only's got a half clip, though. That's something important to recognize. If you don't hit the shots with that gun, you're going to be left reloading.
Absolutely. I mean, even with the full mag, it can be hard to fight it, and they get Musty down quick there. They might not have heard the footsteps as close as he thought they were.
Yeah, that was some good shots there out of Pixel with the, I think, an ace in his hand. Did some really good work to kind of outshoot the Vector there. So Gemini Esports, they lose 2 members here to the Console Killers, who I believe started this game 3 deep. And there comes Quavoff.
From the water.
Regroups with his squad, drops one of the
Return from the dead.
Yeah, Quavoff, I believe, lagged out in his drop, ladies and gentlemen, and has had a little bit of a solo journey to regroup with the Virtual Kings here, but they're going to be pushing on, and I think we're seeing a little bit of a more immediate battle breakout between TXT and MG here.
I have to pull up on this because two big
TXT.
Teams fighting here.
Doc X
is down. Boat is down on top of the garage building. Tremmy's down.
Yeah, this is a very interesting situation for TXC now. Main Gaming kind of in control of the compound. Just one member up
Tacticals
in the compound.
across.
Charm and Tacticals only providing support from long range. Not really a good push for him to try to make that open push there. Swag trying to hold this building. He's going to actually jump out. She's got to look out for the third-party shots from Tacticals and from the Toxic Lady Lasers.
Wow. That comes to bite. Swag hopping out and not going for that 1v1 against Charm there.
Yeah, let's see how they play it from here. They've got the rest of the members up here. Charm in the compound. Oh my gosh, the nade almost takes down Swag.
I think Lex is going to be able to get this flush here potentially. If not, it's going to go to Tacticals. I can't imagine it's really going too well. Let's see, Swag might be able to get across the building here. Oh, but then Charm comes in and gets it. TLL looking like they want to make a move here.
Oh, I love this aggression out of the Toxic Lady Lasers Blitz. I can't say that at all, but they've heard the fight between Main Gaming and TXC, and they decided that this is their chance to try to pick up some third-party kills. They're backing off a little bit. I was loving the push. It looks like Vigorous looking on as well. Noxie is really close by.
Yeah, it's a tough compound to push from the south when they were trying there. Really, most people successfully pushed from where Tacticals was, using the trees and those hills there. And then now, like you said, the shot's coming in from Noxie, but I don't know where the rest of Noxie's team is. I think he's by himself on that ridge. Noxie often does this kind of just playing point, and I think he realized that if he gets pushed, he's by himself. He's actually going to head back. And now Tactical's kind of disrupting the Toxic Laser ladies. Is that their name? Lady Lasers?
Lady Lasers, yep.
Lady Lasers. And Virgo's down. Main Gaming's regrouped at the garage building, but they still ultimately have 2 members of TXC, so it's not a one battle by any means. And guess what, Sento? The blue's coming in, so now these teams are going to have to make a move one way or the other.
Yeah, taking a quick look at my map, Blitz. This is phase 3. Half of the zone is water. So there is little to nothing for people to work with here. We're seeing
there's 51 up for people listening, so this is insane. We're going to see probably 10 people get killed here in the next few minutes, if I had to guess.
Yep, everything is going to unfold very quickly. We're going to do our best to stay directly on the action. It looks like FSG has pulled, they finally made their way from the apartments, and they pulled up right on Quavoff. He's a little bit ahead of the rest of his team, but he's going to try a little bit of a Kobe situation, and he's got some shots. Oh my god, he dropped hitting a double kill.
Rest of FSG's kind of hide behind the US. Speedy, I think, is going to try to go for a shot here. Snipist is going to go for the revive. Returning a nade back is going to do pretty well. It's going to hit Sweezy and knock Sweezy. Wow, it took a long bounce.
That's a great nade that's going to provide a little bit of time for them to maybe get a revive off. And there you go.
But then Quave off with the second, or no, that's okay actually with that nade.
Yep, okay.
Finishing
drops
them
one
off.
right on the car and takes these guys out. They were still 4 deep here, but just a really tough spot to pull up in. You're kind of just fishing a barrel at that point with Quave off dropping nades on you. Knocks 2 right off the rip. MG pulling off.
They're trying to go zigzagging here.
I'm not exactly sure what the play is here, but they saw Quave off and VK pick up some kills there. They know that.
I think it's a good move. There's actually a lot of open ground in front of them. And now RR is fighting out with TLL on the bottom side of the map. RR actually had picked up a kill off FSG. Now they're battling it out here. Is it just Lex again? Just like last game, last one up, but this time it's a 1v2 and she's super low health.
Yeah, she's already
has 3 nades though, Stento.
She's already done some good work to get 1 back. She's gonna
nades
try
are coming out here
right now. Yup.
Hopefully this last one she'll cook it 2 uncooked. Got to cook maybe one of these to get some different distances going. She actually kind of underthrew these, Stento. They weren't pushing her. They actually stayed back, so none of the nades end up hitting. I think she ended up kind of throwing them all kind of the same spot there, unfortunately. Oh, no, and then didn't reload.
Oh, she had a knock there for sure. Lex has been proving that she can drop just about anyone here. Almost 3v1 a team last game. Has already gotten a knock, but now she's 4v1 blitz, and this push is not going to be something that she wants with all the squad on her. So another strong fight from Lex and the Toxic Lady Lasers, but Rico's Roughnecks.
Yeah, great effort. You can tell Lex is ready to go, super warmed up there. Just nothing you can really do at that point. And after, I think, the non-reload, probably a little defeated there right after that happened. That was unfortunate.
Yeah. I think she would have had another knock as well. So just a little bit unfortunate. A lot going on there, but
yeah,
great plays.
We've all been there.
Strong there for sure. And this is a very interesting zone blitz because farm field in the wide open is a center and not really a good place to go early on. So you're seeing what is still 11 teams and 38 players kind of battle it out for some interesting terrain.
For sure, and just like I mentioned, that we were at 51 players at 15 minutes. We're just at 18, and we're down to 38. So we lost about 13 players there, and in just 2 minutes or so, 2.5 minutes. That was pretty hectic. A lot of action here, and just as you mentioned, sometimes the circle does shift back to this farm area, or we might see it end up ultimately going towards RTN. I mean, usually those are kind of the popular spots for the circle, so we'll have to pay attention to where this goes. We got 3 teams kind of stuck on the bottom here. It's Vigorous, BH, Woulda getting knocked, and then also the last member of CH on the bottom side of the map here.
Yeah, Vigorous is in a good spot here. Lots of teams around them, and they've kind of staked their claim at the bottom of this mountain. Prodigy got a knock in almost a thirst onto Bliv, our hero from match 1. I'm not sure they're going to be able to save Bliv right now. I think he's about to bleed out. There you go. Prod takes him down. Crazy Mob down to 3 strong. And actually, Capricorn Esports had a solo on the edge that took down another member of Crazy Mob, but they do end up getting that final member. Frisky goes out in 11th place. They're going to be able to get Droppa up here and get back to 3 strong. And they still got Vigorous right underneath them with Prodigy. The rest of Vigorous is pushed across the street, Blitz.
I think that's a smart move for Vigorous. Honestly, I feel like Prodigy should be going with them, but he might feel a little locked in here. Now that he's gotten in the open, of course, Dreams is now up top. But Prodigy might go to distract Crazy Mob and let his team. Looks like he's trying to figure out what to do. They're a little lost here. Going for the car. A little cover fire from the rest of Vigorous.
I think this is a great play. I liked him underneath there. I like him back with his squad. I think that they're going to do a little bit of a gatekeep on the Crazy Mob here. They just need to make sure that they don't get third-partied from this Bloodhound squad, which continuing to put in work, Blitz. What are they doing over here? 2 kills.
They won't go down. They're like having this long battle. I thought they'd just be gone by now, honestly. No disrespect to them. And then he catches Brody going for a revive off the top rope.
He has no more ammo. He literally has to punch this out, loot some 7s, and try and reload before the final member gets there. Shanks
this is insane.
A stunner. The stunner and the jump out. Can Karku do it? There's 1 more member left. It's Tragic End gonna come out of the building and save Shanks. Wow, I don't know what happened the full time there, but I think Karku was trying to pull off another 4v1. I think we would have seen 2 there if we got there at the right time, and Karku pulled that off. But Tragic End saves the day there for RR. They're gonna get back to 2 strong.
Wow, and it's Ghosted. Instead of pushing there, looking for potentially like the flush on that team, they just take the car and leave. There is another Dossier like half in the blue, but now they're not going to be able to get it. Actually, that was a UAS. So they might have just left RR for dead there potentially.
Blitz, this is actually a pretty good time. I'm watching Team 9, the THE squad. I'm watching Italian. They're one of our squads in Discord. I'm going to tune in for an Astro listen in on these guys' comms right
Let's
now.
do it.
One's probably playing the shock now.
Okay. MG's got to come out of the blue and swamp.
Yeah, you focus that Italian.
Where's the blue?
So it's torch down here. Torch down here in green.
Perks, can you occasionally look over Italian? Because that VK kid is going to push
I'm
up on
trying.
his shack.
VK was hard holding me a
They're
second
trying to
ago.
get to blue.
And they're not playing
They're
those rocks
still
anymore in green,
no.
though. They're
There's
not
a guy
playing
farther
over
back.
here on my marker, Italian. He's not in yet. You hear him
Did they go down in
blowing.
the swamp?
I know it's
Did they go down
MG. It's
in the-
MG.
They went upfield. They went field.
I think they wrapped that
I
way.
see
though.
VK.
Stole another
Italian
one
got
from MG.
a stole.
Yo, in the road right now. In the road, right above
In
you.
the road, yep.
BK.
I'm on
I have 64 rounds. I have to save my ammo for kills.
Where?
For my M4.
Literally in the
On my
road?
ping. On my ping. Yeah.
Oh, on Italian's ridge.
Italian, you need to just stay inside.
Headshot one.
They're pushing
Oh,
me.
no, I got these
Get him up
snakes.
quick. Get him up quick.
Gotta get amazing.
Izzy's got to get a knock first. One's getting close, Italian.
I could tell.
One's holding at.
I'm
two.
safe. I'm safe.
Top
He
one.
knocked the one
Nice,
close.
nice,
He knocked
nice.
the one close.
Yeah, let's
Get
go.
that clean up. Get that clean up for me. Okay.
All right.
Rising.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Nice. Good shot. Good shot.
You're safe right now, Italian. There's one farther back, like near the swamp. Watch out.
There's one on the edge of the road, one on the
You need to drop me your fives. The fives you missed, Perks. Fives you didn't
He
have.
killed the close one.
all I
There's
have,
still
bro.
one on my blue ping on my ridge.
I have 15 in my mini.
On my ping.
Is there a helmet in here?
You guys got
Yeah,
shifted out, but the shack is in.
Just because
You
he's
have a
trying to
Vic,
get a knock on me.
Perks?
They're not at
Torch
the
is
shack yet.
focusing us. Torch might be walking on us.
Perks, do we have our Vics?
No, Italian took my car at least.
There's a buggy.
Took
There's a
one.
buggy
Oh my
to the right
God.
of Izzy. But
Hey,
it might
Torch
be a
might be
Malik took
walking on
one.
us. Alright.
I'm rotating in the smokes.
Hey, can y'all play for VK at all here?
Yeah,
I'm
they are.
pushing up, I'm pushing up.
They're moving to the shack. Gonna need more smokes. You gotta hold for
Hey,
them,
watch our
Italian.
back right here too, maybe.
Hey, I have ammo in the street next to the US. It's
Hey, he's right where you knocked
there's
him.
ammo on the
He's
shack.
right where you knocked the other one. He's right where you knocked the
Is there one on the shack?
I don't think so.
They're like
Just
down.
play like
They're like
there is
down the ridge right here. My mark. My ridge.
They're on the ridge behind the shack, to the left of it.
He's right where you knocked the other one. One of them is.
They're gonna push you in a second, Izzy. Be
One's right
careful.
here. One's right here. One's right here.
He headied him. He headied him.
Headed
Nade
him.
to the right of the tree, if you can.
I'm wrapping behind him right now.
Hey, they're getting aggressive, Italian.
Okay.
You get this
They're
guy
getting
right here.
aggressive. You guys got a car wrapping behind you guys too.
One's right behind me.
I see them. Can't see them.
He's on the
Left
ridge.
side
Still
of
naded
smoke,
over.
Italian.
Oh, just got naded.
Italian's holding him. He's gonna go down to blue pretty soon.
Here he comes. He's coming over the road right now. He's on the tree.
He's coming on. He's on the tree. Good job.
Shot,
One
good
more.
shot.
Pushing you, Italian. Pushing you.
Right in front of me,
Right
right in front of me.
above
One
us,
shot,
right
one
above
shot. Nice, let's go,
Well
let's
done.
go.
Get homie.
Right above us,
Throw
right above
a
us,
base
my
smoke.
marker. Go back, Italian, stay alive.
Nice,
Go
nice,
tree, go tree.
nice. You got time, man up. It's his first knock.
Oh, blue. Can you carry him in the shack?
You need to crawl. I need to heal. Like, I'm fucking.
gotta heal. They're gonna be getting res, maybe.
Throw a bait smoke.
Fucking
No.
MG behind me. That's the one MG person. I had 5.
Sure.
Unbelievable Astro listening for the THE squad. That was incredible plays for them dealing with that push by the virtual kings on the edge there. The comms were immaculate. GG's to that THE squad holding on. They're actually going to get third-partied by MG. Ernsterd picking up a couple kills there, eliminating them in 5th place. But that was one of the best Astro listen-ins I've ever been involved with. Great comms, dropping ammo for people like on cars in the middle of the street. Just insane cover for each other from the shack overwatch. And preventing pushes. That was just insane plays by THE, and that was an absolute honor to be listening in.
That ended up at first a little slow, and then ended up being literally probably one of the best listen-ins. That was just perfect timing there.
A short for us there, Blitz. Remember that one.
And also just amazing place from Italian, almost getting taken out from the blue, and then knocking Noxie there was just incredible.
Yeah, the knock on Noxie was impressive. But we're down to our final 4 teams here, ladies and gentlemen. Torch is a 4-man. Vigorous down to 3. Main Gaming is a solo in the shack with Ernster there.
Hiding right next to Noxie as he goes for some more ammo.
And RTN is a 3-man on the edge here as well. They're kind of smoke pushing their way around. I think they've got some pressure from Torch watching them. Vigorous might end up in a little bit of a pinch here, but by RTN if they can get across the street, and Torch here. So Vigorous potentially in the roughest spot here. Noxie on the edge here. Oh, Vigorous. Oh my gosh.
Ernster makes a big play on Prodigy, but Ghosted follows up.
Yeah, it was a great play by Ernster to jump out, but there's just too many eyes on him. Vigorous, clean him up. Main Gaming out in 4th place. They're going to try to get this revive onto Prod. I don't think it's going to happen between the third-party shots.
OH is there, but Torch right now is fighting 2 battles, but then RTN just went out, so now it's just the last 2 of Vigorous. We have a 4v2 just like that. This happened very quickly here. There's just not too much cover, and Torch took over a lot of the zone, so they were able to play aggressive and use the little cover that was left. They pushed up to these middle trees before anybody else got there, and now they're just surrounding
somehow Blitz.
Vigorous.
We didn't have our eyes on this Torch squad. There was so much going on, but they've picked up 10 kills, and they're primed up to wipe a 2-man Vigorous here for a nice 12-kill chicken dinner if they can get the job done. But they do have to go through Noxie and Ghosted. Not an easy task.
No, not at all. And I'm surprising they're kind of going east here, right? But it's working out. Ghosted gets spotted first, though. Noxie's going to have a tough time, but gets away behind the vehicle. He's got this crazy little dip somehow, some way. This is a crazy zoomed out perspective here. I don't know how Noxie's even in this area. Half his body's in the blue. I think Charms or Prism is a little confused here.
How would he take him down with the SKS there? I was wondering why he didn't have the barrel out or his AR. He does drop precision there, but the cleanup by OH gets the job done. 12 kills and the chicken dinner for that Torch squad.
Wow, Stento, that's crazy. So Torch coming in first. They're going to have 12 total kills, like as you mentioned. Vigorous in second here with 4 kills of their own. RTN in third with 0 kills, and MG filling out the top 4 there with 5 kills there, if doing the math correctly on the fly, and GG's to all the teams involved.
Yeah, I've switched back to our split screen here. I think the story of that match for me was just some amazing plays from the THE squad. Italian, Perks, and Izzy had some just amazing comms. For anyone who wasn't able to watch that live, I very much encourage you to go to this match too and watch that Astro A40 listen in. Because if you're learning how to communicate as a team, if you're learning how to work together as a team, fight multiple battles, cover one another, and do all of that type of stuff, you can just see that the level of communication that it takes to really take it to that next professional level. If you do want to join in on some of the sweatiest games, you really have to elevate your game. You have to be comfortable with who you're playing with, and you have to communicate. And that was just a great display of that from those guys. It seems like a little bittersweet victory for Torch. We didn't see much of their action fighting throughout the game, Blitz, but we know what they're capable of. We've seen them put together 20 kill wins before, and a 12 kill wins can shoot them right up the leaderboard there.
Absolutely. I think they were at that compound just north of the zone. It finally got pushed at the end there. I'm pretty sure I saw them holding out there. So I think they were probably able to pick off some kills leaving that compound or staying in that compound until they had to leave. And then they did a good job leaving. Obviously, that's the most difficult part, is leaving the compound when it leaves your area of the zone. And like you said, I mean, they're a great team. They're used to playing big games like this. So a nice second dub for them in game 2. Or first dub, but in game 2, excuse me.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that was just match 2. Game 3 is our switch 'em up. We're heading over to the dusty desert of Miramar, and we'll be back in just a few moments with that match 3 lobby all set up. Welcome back, everybody, to the Main Gaming Weekly Series. As always, $1,000 on the line. We have 17 teams battling out over the course of 5 matches, and this is our halfway point. It is also my favorite match of the evening as we play 4 maps on Erangel and 1 map on Miramar. It is always fun to see this wrench in the plans, I like to call it, Blitz, for some of these teams. What are you thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw a few teams kind of figuring out where they were going on Erangel because we have some change up in the player base here, or what players on which team. And now with Miramar, I think we're going to see the same thing. We're just seeing some of the first people drop over Picado and some of the hot drops, so we'll see where these people end up. But yeah, while I enjoy Erangel more to look at, Miramar is still one of the best esports maps to play on. So I always look forward to this one of the night.
Yeah, I have the map wide open. It looks like we have a couple teams heading towards Los Leones. It looks like the Crazy Mob are going to stake out the north side. WC going to stake out the south side. I'm also looking towards Bendita Blitz. It looks like this THE squad, our feature on the Astro Listen-In, is really close to Main Gaming, kind of split around Main Gaming. So we'll have to keep a close eye there. Another scoping around the map. I don't really see any other hot drops, but first circle has popped and we're heading as north as we could possibly go.
So I know a few competitive teams like this drop area because there's a couple hard spawns for vehicles here in esports mode, and people like to obviously rotate out of here compared to Picado. Sometimes this actually can almost be a better rotation spot. There's just more angles to get around the map. So seeing 2 teams here, some people might be confused, why would 2 teams drop in Bendita? In a normal match, you might not see this, but this is kind of common sometimes in the competitive scene for this area. And Izzy's out kind of tracking Main Gaming as they move. He might get into a skirmish here with Doc X. Doc X getting shot from behind. We could see a player go down, but Izzy kind of turned around there and didn't catch him. Now Doc X is actually going to make it over the next lip.
Yeah, I tapped into Izzy's perspective. He's got nothing on that M4. He's got 60 bullets and an iron sight on the M4. The shots were coming from Sky Toy or Perks a little bit further away. There's some great shots, though, from Izzy. Gonna take down Doc X. Caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, but Izzy only has 30 bullets here, so he's got to play it smart. It looks like he's trying to find his way into the shack. The Naka has done just that. And Izzy's kind of a little bit alone over here, so he's playing it very cautiously. Pushing across to his knock in that shack would be a reckless move. So he's just kind of playing this Bendita Ridge. I think Main Gaming are going to consider this a loss and just kind of cut and run. They have no idea where the rest of the THE squad is. Yeah, they're calling Doc X a loss, and the other 3 earns their swag. Acid Burn. Gonna head for the hills here.
Wow, honestly, tough decision to make there, but
for them, but this
it's
so split up. It's just
well, hindsight's 2020. As casters here, we can see that they could have probably done something there, right? THE's not there, but from their perspective, THE could literally be. They could be waiting over that ridge, and this early in the game, I mean, without all the scopes and stuff you need, that could just be a disaster. And obviously, Main Gaming coming in 2nd place in game 1 and kind of sticking it out in game 2 there into the top. I think top 6 teams, maybe top 7. They're having a pretty good showing in 2 games, so I think they want to stay alive, and that totally makes sense here. And we have our first circle shift. And we already have a bunch of teams kind of making their way north. We've been seeing some drastic circles here today, and another one on Miramar. I don't think since we've seen the updated Oasis that you and I have casted an Oasis finish with the new one, so maybe we'll see that tonight. It's off to the edge a little bit, but that would be amazing.
Oasis,
but
that Bloodhound squad, I gotta give him a shout out. This is a brand new squad in the Main Gaming Weekly series. I'm not sure how regular they've been competing amongst our other PUBG console leagues, but I have to actually interrupt myself. Vigorous is pulling up on one member of Gemini Esports. Musty has gotten to what is arguably the best spot in phase 1 here, but Vigorous scoped it out, decided there was no one here, and pulled directly up on it. It's probably going to work out in their favor because Musty is solo. Vigorous pulled up 4 deep. This is something we've talked about with Vigorous a number of times. They have to stay 4 deep. When they do that, they're just virtually unbeatable. Noxy is such a veteran player, and he just doesn't miss. And Ghosted is one of the best IGLs and teammates to have on comms. And we know Prodigy, we know Gravy, we know how good these guys are with shots, with the DMRs. So we love to see them just staying 4 deep. They're in an amazing spot here, Blitz. We got to keep an eye on Vigorous on this Miramar match.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice. Again, I feel like they're sort of like a similar team to Main Gaming, where sometimes they're playing on the outside or can't keep everybody alive. So, but when they're together, they're a team that can win any match here. So it's fun to see that. And right here, GE got mistake. They're just going to go for the flush there. But I think they have this area to themselves. They're kind of by themselves actually in that whole area. Really, there's not too many teams in the zone.
Yeah, there's a ton of teams that have just about as far to go as you can, especially Torch, which is rotating all the way around. I think they're going to take the left side of the map, the western highway here, follow RTN all the way up past the ear there at Trailer Park, and head all the way over to Oasis or something. So some teams are going to be driving for several minutes here. Winner Circle near Puerto Paraiso. Main Gaming themselves still have a long rotation, as do Crazy Mob. So again, so many teams aren't comfortable yet. They've got to make that rotation.
Yeah, there's going to be pretty long rotations there. I saw something pretty bizarre here. CE is making it kind of towards water treatment, and they literally drove right past the care package and didn't stop for it. I mean, I don't know if they didn't see it, but it was right next to the road, and it was still smoking as they drove by. And it was let me check what gun it was. Sorry, it's the AUG, because obviously in esports settings, the AUG is still in the care package. So it's just interesting to see that they drove right past it. Bizarre mistake there from them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they thought it was hit or whatnot. Who knows?
We've got a skirmish breaking out, but it's just
wow, I see this.
yeah, down
Crazy
near
Mob
Bandita.
and THE, 2 big teams, right?
Yeah, we've seen some impressive plays out of both of these teams so far today.
Italians down.
I think
2 are down for Crazy Mob, so 2-2 here. 2v2. No flushes yet. Perks and Sky Toy are trying to make a rotation on Droppa. Droppa drops one of them, but the trade comes out.
Yeah,
Where's the last member of Crazy Mob?
I don't know, Blitz.
Coming in
James
a
is
car
driving
across
over
the
now.
street.
It might be in time to prevent a revive. He's gonna need to win his 1v1.
Doesn't get hit. Pulling up that Perks is ready, though. Dreams gets tagged a little bit down to half health for Dreams. Perks is at 75% health. None of those shots hit, but
Gets
Dreams
the job
gets
done,
it.
Blitz! Wow, he was kind of holding a peak while half health there. I was worried for him, but Dreams slides in with the vehicle, plays it really patiently. So hats off to both of these teams, giving it a little bit of an old school feel, leaving all the knocks up.
Yeah, that was old
Mob's
school.
Crazy Mob's going to be able to get back to 4 strong here, but just a big GG's on leaving all the knocks there, in a great pull up by Dreams to save this for Crazy Mob. This is our winners of the first round here, potentially going to have a second little bit of a thrown round here, but Dreams actually flies in with the vehicle and saves the day and gets his team back up to 4 strong. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty rare that you see both teams had pretty much, I think, everybody up there. No thirst coming in, but really it was kind of smart because they needed the ammo and the time, I think, to respond to all those players. And it was just really good old-fashioned kind of PUBG shooting there, good trading going on. It was 2-2. Then we saw the trade, Dreams come in. That was just a classic fight, as you mentioned. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, Blitz, console killers are pushing up onto 187Z. We already got Util flying, exchanging between the two teams. Bazaar is in the building, pushing up the stairs. Savage has already gotten the knock over to one of his teammates, though. He does get that trade there. So 187Z's down to just 2 members. Insane makes it 2-2. The trades are going left and right.
Then
Pixel
gets
drops
knocked.
Insane. Legend drops Pixel. So this is non-stop. I believe we're down to a one-on-one here. Legend versus Pixel. Pixel gets the job done. The worst gun in the game. It's the ace, but it does get the job done. He's going to be able to get the revive off onto Bazaar here. They're going to get back to 4 strong here. So big GGs on all of these fights. So much is going on that no thirsts are coming out, and teams are winning battles, getting back to 4 strong. Hats off to console killers. Pixel getting the job done, making the plays that needed to happen there for CK.
Can't believe they got Bazaar there with just a fraction of health. Huge revive. And this is a great spot to have if the circle shifts back south here. We'll see. Obviously, a lot of people go for this compound early on, trying to see what other teams are holding elsewhere. We have Torch going on a big rotation on the west side. They're going to drive through Cabrera, which is open right now. CE and FSG are pretty much center with Vigorous right now. They're both holding that center mountain. We're about to see a pretty important circle shift here. And it goes northeast, and this is a very common circle here. Tacticals and Team TXC, excuse me, in a great spot. VK in a great spot as well. Normally, these zones will end kind of between Team 19, Team 14, and Tori Amuda in that kind of area. So we'll see where the circle goes, but that's definitely going to be the best positions for sure.
Yeah, 10 minutes have passed with that second circle up. We still have 15 teams alive and 57 players. And if you do take a look at your map, there's several teams that are in zone comfortable, but there are also several teams who aren't even close to zone. So that north side near Torre Ahumada and even further to the north side all the way along the boundary wall there is wide open. Quite literally no one there, and there is no buildings there. So using both sense of the word there, it is wide open there. There's no one up there. It is going to be an interesting spot to see if people rotate into. With the city totally vacant there, it's going to be interesting to see if we get some crashers going into that city there, which, again, another shift up in that direction, and you're going to want to be on the edge of that city, Blitz.
Yeah, that's for sure. And what an interesting spot. I mean, I feel like I know every area of PUBG like the back of my hand, except for some of these top cities on Miramar that you just only go to when the circle goes here, really, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously you know the location, but just not as well as everywhere else. But I'm sure these teams are kind of used to it because I feel like in esports settings, the circles do come up here quite often. And now Vigorous has claimed their stake across from VK.
Yeah,
R's in a pretty good spot for future rotations. As you just mentioned, they're kind of on the edge of that zone there. And Torch finally making it into the blue. Acid Burn just got in from the blue. Main Gaming's kind of waiting for her to make it in on the east side, and they have the whole east side to themselves, so that's going to hopefully last for quite some time. Part of the zone's actually not even in the playable area of the map, so we're definitely going to see the zone shift down a little bit, or we could have some crazy dramatic shift north here because this zone is so high.
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not sure if anything is out of bounds on the north side. If in another circle up we have to pull south off of that, I'm not sure if it plays like the water on the north side. That's something I'm actually going to look up before we have our next event. So that's
a good question.
Familiar with that because
it's a good question.
Typically on a wrangle, once you get to phase 4, it has to pull off of the water, and that's
Absolutely.
just in the settings. And I'm curious if the edge of zone here, where there's no water on the north side, has a similar situation to it, but we'll have to wait and see. It's only been phase 2. We are going to see that circle in just under a minute here, and it looks like
look at Winter
Circle, yeah, kind of staking
look
out
at Winter
that
Circle
area.
Benny right now taking a little border patrol. I'm curious what he's doing. He's driving on the very top side of the map here up against the wall, which most players haven't even seen that.
I think he's auditioning for a job from Donald Trump himself. Just a little bit of border patrol here on the wall.
I'm not sure. I mean, I guess he could be going to scout this compound by the word Tory there.
I love the spot. I mean, no one's going to push him from the north side. And again, he's still got some zone to work with. He's kind of just scouting as forward as he can for the squad. Poking around, trying to get... Yeah, I think he's just trying to ease his way in towards the center. He's eventually...
Yeah, I wonder if he's also scouting for care packages, Tento. A lot of times, like, rogue care packages go out there, kind of like the water. And there you go. Circle shifted. It did pull back a little bit and kind of centered up where I was thinking here. So now Vigorous, TXC, GE, really in those really great compounds where you're kind of out on an island when you get to those spots. So that's huge for them to have that.
If he's out here searching for packages, Blitz, I'm going to need to call Benny and get some games in soon.
I mean, you guys might be a perfect match in Harmony. Like PUBG Hinge or something, PUBG Bumble. Maybe you guys could perfect match.
Oh, I love this. A care package just dropped right in between Vigorous and VK, right on the road. It's like, hey guys, if you weren't already aware you were, in a sweaty little battle here, here's a care package, dead center.
It's amazing. It's like
Good
PUBG
luck.
tug of war between the two teams. Only they could pull it towards one another.
That's messed up. That's something that would happen in like the movie Hunger Games, where they're just like pitting the kids against each other. They're just dropping a care package right in between these two teams.
For sure. Honestly, kind of looks like VK could potentially get this because of the lip of the road here. Obviously risky, but I'm not even sure they've noticed it landed there because look, 3 of the members of VK are in the other building. OK doesn't have a sight line on that care package.
Oh, it's beautiful out there. would be reckless for anyone to go for it now, but we might see someone snatch that end game given the rotations. But we're seeing some shots being traded out on the southwest side of zone. This FSD squad, which we've seen have a lot of success in their squad versus squad battles, are kind of just
they don't have a
raining
vehicle,
shots
Stento.
down onto Capricorn Esports. Yeah, they don't have a vehicle. I'm looking around. I don't see one either. Actually, it looks like Snipers might be running back. I see one just beyond the compound there.
Okay, because they're gonna need one, I think, to successfully leave this area.
Turbot is in zone on the edge here, so he's in a good spot.
Ooh. Sento, we might want to take a look at the Lady Lasers here. They have to rotate in. There's really nowhere for them to go because they're about to rotate right into Torch. And they're trying to escape shots from RTN. They might be safe temporarily here, but they've been getting shot for a while in this rotation. Looks like Lex losing a lot of health.
Yeah, some serious damage. This dip might be playable. I think they're going to pull up here, try to manage this area.
Yeah, this is tough here. You don't want to be late into this zone.
Rotation for so many of these teams, because if you didn't get in early, you really need to consider where you're driving through. So whoever IGLing for this toxic Lady Laser squad, definitely doing a really good job just to get them into this location safely with vehicles. So big hats off to them here. We'll see what they can do with Torch just to the northeast. And they've got that Bloodhound squad, which has had a very successful debut in their first ever main gaming weekly. So we'll keep a good eye on this squad here.
Yeah, who knew? I mean, this is actually more cover than I anticipated in this area of the map. Again, this is like one of the few areas I would say I'm not super familiar with, every little nook and cranny. And we're about to see another circle shift, and this is devastating for TLL and teams on the north. It actually goes back south, kind of originally where I figured. I mean, if you've played PUBG ranked or esports, you've seen this zone, and it's going to kind of a pretty common spot here. And Vigorous now is super stoked that they took that middle spot. As it shifts back to them, and now these teams are gonna have to figure out what to do, and we're gonna have to keep an eye out for VKRR kind of holding out these north teams. This is gonna be 57 people alive here, Stenta. We're gonna see probably 15 people or more get eliminated.
Blitz, it was 10 minutes into the game when I said there was 15 teams alive, 15 players. So it has been 7 minutes now, and we haven't lost a single player. It looks like BH heard the knock come out of the Toxic Lady Lasers, and they pulled directly up. Oh, and excuse me. Toxic Lady Lasers
Crazy's got a good flank
BH.
here on TLL.
The Lazy
Lex
Lasers
starts
are
it off on
pulling it.
Muerte.
I love the aggression. That's another knock onto Shadow for the BH squad. Crazy continuing to do what she does for this squad. Karku does take down Southern. The thirst is out, so it's just Lex, Crazy, and Virgo here. Karku takes down another. We've seen him do some 1v4 action in game 2, so they're gonna have to handle him quicker rather than later. Crazy needs to get around this angle. He does just that. Lady Lasers with a nice clean wipe onto this squad. Unfortunately, they lose Lex and Southern, but they do pick up 4 kills, and now they're in a good spot. However, they need to keep an eye on the Predator. Torch is hungry for these kills, about to third party from the northeast, Blitz.
Yeah, they're coming in, and now Lady Lasers kind of licking their wounds a little bit there. They almost looked they could have rolled that, but Freight actually kind of spoiled it. Torch needs to get in here anyways to take the spot. We actually are seeing a skirmish between Winter Circle Main Gaming. Let me know if you want to move, or we're going to watch this Torch push.
I'm still watching Light. He's leading the way for his squad, but the third party is kind of starting to light Torch up a little bit, kind of preventing him from this push. And some great shots from Crazy, pushing back Light, but however, Precision is there to drop Virgo. Now it's just going to be up to TLL Crazy. She's in a 4v1 versus Torch. It looks like she's trying to prioritize zone, but there's too many shots. It's actually RR Shanks from the south side picking up that kill with a couple of nice SKS shots.
Yeah, that's still just a tough spot. I mean, they won the battle, but the war there was not over. Very difficult spot to be in for sure.
It looks like a little bit of mutual destruction here between Main Gaming and Winter Circle on this edge of zone. Winter Circle going to get back up to 4 deep there, and Main Gaming did lose Ernster in the battle here, and it's not over yet.
Acid gets hit with a big nade. Kofry and Vinny pushing in strong. Signs and Soup kind of in the back here. Swag's going to need to really frag out here to stop this push. Goes down to Kofry, the double shooting, though. Vinny had done the initial work there. Acid's just trying to figure out if she can kind of run away there. If she gets down, third-party shots could come in from RR to help a little bit here, potentially.
Yeah, there really is nowhere to go, because if she gets out of this little crevice or ravine that she's in, whatever we're going to call it, the third parties are really going to start to ring out. So for now, staying down there probably is their best option. The third parties will help the WC push over the top for now, but Benny is getting an angle. Asaburn might have some sights on this in a while, but he is clearing the area, deciding that this might be the best area for WC to come down. He might be calling the rest of the squad down into this dip because the sight lines from other compounds are limited on this area.
Wow, I can't believe Asaburn and Benny haven't run into each other. They're so close. I also want to mention on the south side here, CK had an awesome crash onto GE. I think they were 3 strong, and CK took that building over, but they keep just having to chase the circle. So many teams just getting moved out here.
Yeah, this is
TXC and FSG. It is. It is. This one is a little bit more east than you typically see. CK's right next to TXC, excuse me. And CK's playing very aggressive Stento. They're pushing right onto TXC to try and get this team out.
I love it.
I love their aggressive play right now.
Yeah, CK between Pixel and Bazaar already have 7 kills. Bazaar with another nice
takes out Charm. It's Tremmy up. Tremmy's got the immune, which is going to be tough to battle multiple players here at once, but it is putting down damage. But Pixel coming in very clutch. There were just 2 health remaining.
These guys turning it into a little bit of a 2-man show here for the console killers. Coma and
9 kills.
6s are pulling up, but 9 kills between Bazaar and Pixel. Amazing work between those two, getting the job done on the fragging end of things.
Great action here tonight, Stento. Looks like we missed Acid getting eliminated there. We're down to 9 teams, 30 players as we approach almost 22 minutes here in game 3 on Miramar. Then we're going to have 2 more matches on Erangel.
Oh, I'm going to get over to Noxie's perspective. VK is in a fight with Capricorn Esports, and Noxie's interested. He might get a knock on the Quavo here. That would be a big knock. They do not want to lose Quavo here. They need him for this rotation. Tony is trying to get some shots to cover Noxie and push him back off. He does the job, but a third party from Snipey on the east side actually gets that there, steals the kill from Noxie. Noxie's going to be able to back off, get this heal off. I'm going to get an aerial view on this, ladies and gentlemen, because VK not going to be able to get off of this edge. They still have a member of Capricorn Esports behind them in the blue.
VK is getting 4th partied here.
Yeah, there's just no way they're getting out of there. VK are going to go out in, I believe, 9th place. Vigorous still 4 strong. Torch still 4 strong. Have left Precision on the northeast side of things, and that's just the wrong time to do that. Tragic End with the bolty in his hand drops Precision. Depending on how many knocks this is, they might not be able to get there for that revive. Blue zone moving in just a minute here, so they're going to need to be swift. I don't know if they're going to be able to get that revive blitz. Tragic End with a nice bolty shot might really dwindle this Torch team down to 3 players here. It doesn't even look like they're considering that revive. There's too many shots from Vigorous and other teams. The rest of RR looking this way as well. Really not possible for them to get over to Precision, so they really just need to plan their next move across the street. Save all of their
even with
for that play.
Even with a perfect smoke wall here, this is going to be really difficult. The only thing that's going to benefit them is that Vigorous is really low on lethals. Noxie only has 1 frag. I just checked the other.
Road blitz. This Torch is in big trouble here.
They are. Gravy's posted up. Oh, but huge knock onto Gravy to kind of slow the push.
Yeah,
but then they immediately take out Light.
Help them, but yeah, he got dropped immediately. RR is still on the north side, so I think Vigorous is going to be able to get that revive off. Noxie maybe shot a little too early at the first player. I think he maybe should have considered letting the rest of Torch run across, but now he's got some focus on him. 2 players from Torch.
Yeah, you're right. But that car is just such great cover for him laying down right now. OH, no health here.
In his favor. He's got the support shots. He's pushing up. He might bring RR into play here for him, so he's got to be careful.
Are we going to see a nade from him here? Is he just sneaking up? If he goes too far up here, he's going to get hit from Brody, Stento. This could really backfire. He's going for the points, though, and he gets both of them. Now he needs to get across the street before Brody tags him.
I love those
Can he get across?
It was risky bringing RR's LOS into play, but he gets up, drops the 2 final members from Torch right away, and he's going to be able to get back to his squad here. Gravy is up back on his feet. Ghost is watching over the top. Vigorous is prepared for this next push already.
Noxy, I guess, just has that kind of risk in him. He secured the extra points, could have easily got knocked there and kind of eliminated a great member of the team, but it pays off in this instance, and they stay 4 strong. And guess what? CK is 3 strong, Stento. Why we're talking, they picked up 2 more kills. I'm guessing they're leading the way here. I'm going to check the kill rankings. They're leading the kill rankings, with 11 total kills.
Yeah, and things dwindled really fast. We had 15 teams with 57 players for almost 8 straight minutes splits. And then as you see, about less than 10 minutes, another 8 minutes have passed, and we've gone from 57 players down to 15. Winner's Circle out in 5th place. That's going to be Rico's Roughnecks Wiz picking up another kill there for RR. They've got 5 now total, but CK continuing some great plays at the hands of Pixel here. He picks up a knock onto RR, and that kind of opens the door for Vigorous here to push onto RR. And I think they know exactly who they're dealing with here, and the fact that one is knocked.
Stento, hold on. Did you notice that Crazy Mob is clown carring the shack here in the center of the map?
Yes.
There's 4 of them in the shack. I didn't even notice this. But going back to Vigorous here, I did not notice that Vigorous. This is a tough compound to push, but it looks like they're considering. I mean, they got Noxy up against the wall here. Gravy and Ghost are going to stay out. I was going to say this is a really hard compound to push, and really they have zone now. There's no need for them to push.
Yeah, so Noxy actually pushed up and stole the kill. That was CK actually got a knock onto this RR squad. Noxy pushed up and thirsted it, and now it's just been util raining down non-stop from the other 3 members of RR. I don't know if they realize he's still there. Smokes have come out from the rest of Vigorous to help Noxy kind of get back to the squad. He's going to wrap around the north side, and they're going to be 4 strong here. So another kill going to Noxy and Vigorous, and we're down to our final 4 teams here, and it's 2 teams of 4 and 2 teams of 3. So pretty different than a couple of the earlier games where we saw a 1v1v4, and Vigorous continuing to frag out. We've seen Prodigy do some damage with these DMRs before, and he's continuing that right now. He's got the 8x on the blitz.
They might be doing too much here right now, though, because now Pixel's kind of snuck up below them with a Garoza. This is a great sky view, Stento, and now Crazy Mob is on the run right now. 666 gets eliminated, but Crazy Mob, CK here is going to get third party from both teams. Como goes down. It's just Pixel left.
Yeah, Crazy Mob have come out of the shack. There was 4 of them hiding in there for 10 minutes plus, ladies and gentlemen. But this is our winners of game 1. They're looking for more now. They've already got 4 kills here, and they're primed up in a really good position. They just need to worry about Vigorous on the top side. A couple of one solo, and then the 3-man of RR hanging out on the northeast.
I really want to see.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, he would like those shots back. I think he gets a knock there about 50% of the time, but unfortunately doesn't get it that time. We've seen this man do some disturbing things with the MK in his hand. The barrel, however.
I'm really surprised we haven't seen Dreams and Droppa leave the shack yet, Stento. I'm wondering what they're waiting for right now, to be honest with you.
Interesting. They've got a really sneaky perspective on that side. So I'm not sure if Brody realizes there's still 2 members of Crazy Mob in there.
It's just weird because wouldn't you want to kind of try to grab some territory now that they know that behind them is clear, right? It's just clear desert. There's no trees or anything behind them.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's time to get 4 out onto this ridge and it's kind of starting to claim a little bit more zone. I think we'll see that soon. I think Crazy Mob just wasn't sure maybe about their backside where CK had went. They just wanted to make sure they kept 4 deep. So I can respect it, but time to come out of the shack, boys. Claim a little bit of zone. Problems in Bliv. Can't do it all.
Exactly. I mean, I understand this hill is kind of a little strange when you play this in game. It's a longer hill than you think. So, like for example, it's hard for Vigorous to really see RR. For them to see one another, you might be wondering why isn't there a huge battle on the top here? But the way it's kind of laid out, it is hard to get a sight line across.
Blitz, I just tapped into Droppa's perspective. He continuously is looking behind. He doesn't trust that one of the rocks is clear. So they do not have comms that the backside is clear yet. Okay,
interesting. It's just weird because
it's a little
there's
bit
really
of
not
a
much
dip down
back
to this
there.
northwest side and some rocks. So I don't know how Problems and Bliv can feel crazy. Feel comfortable out on this ridge. And Droppa's still looking over there. So I'm not.
That's what I mean. Exactly right. Yeah. You think that Problems and
yeah, it seems a little bit like they haven't fully identified where the rest of the teams are.
for sure it has to be throwing them off here that all teams are full except for.
And there's just a solo with a Groza
just
here.
them and-
Pixel already has 5 kills, and he's staring at Prodigy. He could have taken him down already. Wow, some good trade shots coming out. Pixel almost gets a knock there. The rest of Vigorous is going to storm over the top here, and he's only got a rock to work with. Great shots. Great efficiency.
Wow, it looks like
Vigorous.
Crazy Mob is getting ready to fight. RR's backed into a corner and gets hit with a double nade there from Bliv, making another clutch play, but now the third-party shot's coming in from Prodigy. They need more smokes down now from the side to cover them, or else Vigorous is just going to clean up all these kills here. One left for RR.
You said it,
The
but
whole...
Vigorous is primed to take this game. They've got a full spread across north to south of zone, and they're just picking up all of these thirds. You know, there's some smokes on the ground. It's a little bit more dense for these players than it is for us spectating. There's a little bit of a ridge there for the Crazy Mob to work with, so they're going to be able to hang on for a little bit, but time is not their friend here. Tragic end goes down to Ghosted, and now Vigorous 4 deep. We talked about it. When they have all their players up, they are just so efficient. They are such good shooters, and they've been around for too long. We know they're going to clean this game up. Crazy Mob is 3 deep, but they just have nothing to work with. Vigorous has set up perfectly all around them, and it's just a matter of time before we see a knock one way or the other, because it has to happen, and they're going to take the kills out themselves. Bliv denying kill points. I actually like that play. You know, you kind of think 3v4, why aren't they fighting? But they were in an impossible spot. They were not going to get out of there. So IGL makes the call there, Blitz. We're going to deny these 3 kill points or 2 kill points, however many they did deny there. And Vigorous just, again, was in too good of a spot. 11 kills in the chicken dinner. Going to propel them right to the top of the leaderboards, I think, at least in the top couple of teams. We will need to keep a close eye on this team as we head back to Erangel. But ladies and gentlemen, give us a few minutes and we will have the 4th lobby set up.
PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get her down. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Just landed, about to turn the city to a ghost town. Floss God, all that chicken getting hog-tied. Better stick together, cause I'm coming for your whole squad. Players unknown, aim for your cheekbone. Put you on a tombstone, I'm a walking red zone. Dropping bombs like it's Vietnam. Gotta remain calm, better give some good comms. Hit your target, so get departed. Shooting like James Harden, been here since it started. Always gonna support it. Hit a crazy shot, I know I'm getting reported. Practice get you rewarded. Don't ride by me. If you in the boat, I'm leaving you in the sea. Another casualty, feel bad for my enemies. If you go against me, Floss God, bring the heat, it's in the game. PUBG, PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get it down. Is amazing, your style is basic. No, I'm not saving, whole team get wasted. Can't beat me, face it, don't get complacent. Blue zone, I'm chasing, no car, I hate it. But I love it, I'm addicted. Only thing I'm eating, I'm addicted to the chicken. All the PUBG players gonna feel it. Even in real life, I carry around a skillet. Season 11, barrel got nerfed, but the scar getting replenished. You can be my apprentice, whole team relentless. Your team defenseless, too big, tremendous. Floss God, no dentist. Real shooter, this is players unknown. Only game that can put you in the zone. No practice, had to get it on our own. PUBG, welcome to the real war zone. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. It's not a game, this is life, we don't play around. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Hit your brain, leave a stain, put you underground. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Suppressor on the sniper, you won't hear a sound. PUBG, welcome to the battlegrounds. Be aggressive, better push if you get it down. Just jump out the plane.
Yeah, I'm back. PUBG, where you at? Let's get it. Yo, I'm a season 1 vet. See me at the top right of your screen, you better watch your step. Now come correct and grab a vest, cause I'm popping the SKS. Don't even got the scope, I still drop you cause I'm the best. Hop in the whip with the squad, now we headed up northwest. Don't need the circle touching me, I ain't really got the meds. But I got the couple mollies, might just use them hoes instead. Toss them in the window, hit the brake and watch it spread. Crashing on the compound with a squad and they all fled. Knocked one peeking on the wall, I shot him in the head. Ran up and he's crawling, caught him dropping all his meds. So where your team at? I bet they hiding in the shed. Yeah, it's all of the new players. Do me a huge favor, don't loot when the blues fading. You better go hit the train and right stick is heavily favored. More practice make you a laser, hot drop you never gon' make it. Just face it and stay patient. You gonna die a lot and probably gon' get frustrated. Just watch for snakes and pull down on the right stick when you aim it. A lot of haters in this game, so be ready for language and just play it. AKM with a bolt tax, aiming at me, now you're skull bastard. Whole team dropping the toe tags. The AKM got about 4 mags. Go ahead and push me, I'm a soul snatcher. Better bring your whole squad when you're rolling past. Fly squad in the passenger, pound jumping in the whip, you be crashing, bruh. Stream clipping and we flipping like a spatula. Tears mopping in the whip, never blasted us. Now you fucking with some ghosts, not your average buck. And we running amok, so come test your luck and just rush. Everybody be acting like they're gonna bust.
Chill.
So if you see us in the feet, better duck.
Just landed on a car 9, I feel bad if you peek me. Whoever said they the best sniper, they probably just never seen me. I make it rain, we not the same, make drag sniping look easy. How quick I make you disappear, God, I'm thinking I'm a genie. I'm too official, and my shot clean, don't blow the whistle. 2-piece, that's a double dribble, popping heads like I'm popping pimples. FPP, TPP, still no one escapes me. Snipe like me, honestly, no one, that's a guarantee. It's over with. Floss God, I'm not the one to be fucking with. Bust it quick and I rarely miss. Light you up like a candlestick, stream popping like fireworks. PUBG, this my occupation, don't hesitate cause I fire first and I'll leave you dead laying on the pavement. I'm really feeling unstoppable. Get a gun and I'm dropping you. All you trolls so comical. Check your stats, you garbage juice. Not worthy, positive but not scared of the controversy. I know the haters gonna try to serve me. If you come troll, I show no mercy. PUBG is my stomping ground. Turn the city to a ghost town. Facebook is where I'm found. It's enough views to go around. Spent 5 years in this game. No need for improvements and shout out to my gang. Floss Millie, this a movement, bitch. Floss. Yo, Pound, you fucking killed that shit, bro. Sheesh. Floss Millie, stand up. Big sheesh.
Once again, massive shout out to Floss God and his new album, Welcome to the Battlegrounds. Again, it is out on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes. Make sure you go give it a listen, and make sure you check out Floss God on Kick. He's been streaming here most nights. Please go give my man a shout out. Blitz, we're dropping in on map 4. 20 seconds, looking at the plane path from Stalber down to Primorsk here. What stood out in your mind from that last match on Miramar?
Well, I had a joke at the end there that Bliv had his second endgame squad wipe, but that one was on his team to prevent the points there, because obviously he had that crazy squad wipe for people tuning in game 1v4 against MG, and then basically, 1v2'd his team there, jokingly. But honestly, I think a lot of times players don't eliminate points from the number 1 team or from the team that they're about to get killed by enough, really, in these events. A lot of times people kind of fight from the blue when they know there's no chance. Obviously, there could have been a chance, like you said, but not really. They were so surrounded, and I don't think they had a lot of utility there, even working for them. So to me, it's a good move because Crazy Mob's in contention to win today, and Vigorous could also be in contention after that win. So every last point counts. So I think Crazy Mob is on their game today, both gun-wise and also with the mentals for all that stuff. So that was a really exciting end game for me, even though how it ended at the very last second.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw some great plays from Vigorous. I mean, we saw them take a second the round before. So I think that's why we might
Yeah,
have
that's
seen
right.
the point denial from Crazy Mob. They're like realizing that, okay, Vigorous maybe didn't have a good start. We won game 1. Game 2, they get a second. You know, now they're about to beat us, and that we've got to deny these 3 points. So I think that's a heads-up play, you know, if you really do look at it. I think a lot of spectators or people who don't really understand the esport think, you know, they can only understand that people didn't try to fight and kill someone there. And in a 3v4, that's like, you know, but that's ridiculous. That's a great play 100 out of 100 times if you ask anyone who knows what they're talking about, especially when you have $1,000 on the line. But
Absolutely.
big GGs to both Vigorous and to the Crazy Mob. And Blitz, another circle heading super far north. Half of it is sticking in the water. A fifth of it is out of the map. We can't even see the top of the circle.
That's pretty unbelievable. Another back-to-back super northern circles, but even game 1, I think, on Erangel was a military circle. So we're seeing some really extreme zones today for the matchups. Again, this is game 4 out of 5 on Erangel. And this is the Main Gaming Weekly Series. We just returned with it. We had a test run last week, back for the main event tonight over here on Kick today. We've got a lot of great veteran teams and some new teams competing in tonight's event. And we see we have 2 teams because of the flight path here that landed near Kamishki, which is pretty rare. RR went for this crazy northern drop above Stallburst, so that's going to pay out huge for them. But sometimes, Stento, as we all know, sometimes it's kind of bittersweet to be in the zone. It's like, where do they do? Where do they go? They have every option. And so, you know, they might be kicking themselves if they make the wrong decision or kind of over move or stay to center. So we'll see how it plays out for them. Obviously, it's a huge advantage off the bat, though. And then a couple teams close to each other in Georgia Pole. And we're going to see some teams, including the Bloodhound, probably start to try to move early.
Blitz, I got to interrupt you. Same
Go for it.
fight we've been watching all day break out.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I'm sorry.
And 187s. No, I was letting you finish, but FSG might be taking it on the head here. We've seen 2 knocks for FSG. They're down to just Frames and Snipus, but Snipus with that mutant so deadly takes down Savage. So Mistake, Legend, and Insane 187Z are trying to find out where the Vector Man is in this building. They need to get rid of him, and then they'll just have 1 player left in Snipus to deal with. Legend naded himself in this building. That's big trouble.
Oh, no, that's huge because 187Z finally had the kind of tide shift in their favor here. That nade coming down themselves. Devastating. Snipers gets back to full health. Is going to run into Insane here.
Mistake is coming
Insane
in.
might
Mistake
catch.
might see the knock. He doesn't see the knock.
No, it didn't catch him.
Gets it done. He does get it done. He didn't see it quick enough, but he actually, in the long run, does end up getting that barrel, outplays the mutant there. And they needed 2v1 this last player and get their squad up.
And they did it finally.
Yeah, a veteran squad. We've seen them be playing in these events for a long time. Good friends with Insane. They're good friends with lots of main gaming. I love this 187Z squad. And honestly, if we're going to be honest, I love both of these teams being stubborn. They said, hey, we're going to dedicate this event to staking out this territory for future events. And again, FSG won the first 2 battles in Game 1 and Game 2. And now in Game 4, 187Zs take down all 4 members. So I'm not sure we're discovering much for either of these teams here on this drop. We might be in for a Game 5 and maybe a multi-event battle between these 2 squads here at Apartments.
Yeah, hilarious. And totally my bad. I forgot that we had this beef going on here, and I'm just rambling about some of the other teams, and then we caught this action. But, you know, what would have been interesting is if 187 lost, you know, what do they do? But now that they won and have momentum in their favor, I guess we're just going to have a interesting battle in the last match of Erangel. And will FSG be 3-1, or can they tie it up 2-2 here if 187 wins again?
Yeah, we'll need to throw up a poll in chat if people think they're going to drop on each other in match 5 or not.
I imagine they will, right? But they definitely have kind of, I'm not going to say taking each other out of the event, but they've definitely damaged each other a lot in both things here. And already getting some rotations here from RTN, getting some shots from CE. Let me know what you want to pull up on. There's a lot of people making their way
right
north
there,
here.
Where they're actually pulling up on each other. Multiple teams pulled up on this houses here. There's 3 houses. A drive-by by Frisky and BPs takes down RTN WAG. So a great squad pull up for both teams here. Now we've got a 3v4. RTN has to get one back quickly to even the stakes.
Yeah, RTN all pulled up on this.
They're in a bad spot.
Small building.
Honestly, yeah.
And a Phonics in the bathroom with the door closed. Wow. And they're going to get tagged by Cracked from the side here. Just 2 up. What can Nar do here?
Someone needs continues to
Misses
drop
on
one of these players.
Frisky.
BP is already on the move. He's working his way through the smoke and around the tree. He's going to have an angle on some players here. He decides to dart back into the smoke and let the wider angle crack get in there. He is clearly true to his name. Drops another one, but Aphonic drops Mr. Monty there, and I feel like that is the final player. There you go. So it was a kind of a quick battle. Capricorn Esports pulled up with a great knock onto one member there, and then the 3v4 was just a little bit too much for RTN to kind of pull back in their favor there. And now CK pulling directly up onto this. I love
CK
it.
has been playing very aggressive. I think they have a lot of momentum from last match on Miramar. They immediately take out Frisky, and they are ready to frag. CE isn't even at full health here, so you have a whole team coming in CK. They're at 100% health. Everybody here is at 75% health after the first aid's being ripped off.
Oh, you love the aggression. I'm watching Pixel here. He drops Mr. Monty after taking the first one down. Maybe looking for a squad wipe on his own here. Almost gets BPs. He knows exactly where he
Catches
is.
him. This is the last member, though. So one left behind the house. Drops Pixel. Almost gets flushed there, but gets behind the tree. They need their team here to come in quick, and 666 with the quick movement in first person.
Yeah, they're gonna
Bam
get
and
the,
lean there.
They're gonna get the job done. What was just continuing some really aggressive play, CK. They're gonna head back to the warehouse. A little bit better spot to play and to frag out early game and pick up rotation kills from, rather than that compound, which is a little bit awkward to defend, I think, in some situations, as you just saw for RTN. There's a little bit of a ridge on the north side, so I love the
What's up with
aggression
this,
out of
Sento?
CK. That can come back to bite you if a team is already hunkered down and ready in a compound there, but they made quick work of that squad.
Yeah, look at Italian here. For some reason, just came up by himself. Actually, Sky Toys with him. They might be looking for like a lone or someone kind of straggling behind. I think they're gonna get Bazaar here. Oh no, they miss.
Now this is going to be interesting. CK has been playing really aggressive here. Those missed
But
shots
again,
from
they're not gonna
Italians
know.
might be costly depending on how CK plays this. They might retract back to that warehouse.
I think they're going to push back. Pixel's by himself. They don't know if it's a whole 4-man or just 2. I was going to say before this kind of broke out here that it's interesting to see so many teams kind of stepping up. Just like CK, they've been one of those teams on the cusp for a long time, right? Some veteran people here like Coma and Bazaar that have been playing for a while. And their play, even with last game on Miramar, just looking really strong and playing really aggressive, which you love to see. It's exciting that so many teams are coming out and performing really well, and a lot of people posting some high kill numbers today so far.
Yeah, it's been a great return for the weekly series here. Very exciting stuff in this first zone. So many teams have found center zone. BH, CK, THE, RR, WC. So many teams are already kind of centered up and ready for this shift to kind of come off the water. We'll just have to wait and see if we're heading to the east or heading to the west.
Yeah, everybody, like you said, everybody's very center. Lady Lasers are at Stallber hoping for an east shift.
I was just watching Italian still because we hadn't seen any action break out, and he caught Pixel climbing up on a box with 3 straight nice shots out of the SLR, and he's doing more damage.
They have this Dossie here, but that's also another kind of hard compound to pull up on. That warehouse.
Some great shots from Italian there.
I feel like, again, just one of the veterans in the comp scene, so OGs, and someone I haven't honestly watched too much myself, though.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't caught a lot of Italian's gameplay besides when we're casting him, to be honest with you. So I know he's been around for a long time. I've seen him in a million tournaments, but haven't honestly gotten to know the guy very much. But definitely a veteran player, been around for a while. And again, I was just so impressed with their team's comms during that Astro listen, and it was so impressive. But this shift has gone high and to the right, northeast, and we've still got a lot of water in play here. RR definitely, with their original drop, are going to be the happiest with that compound they've got. WC are taking a spot that I really like. This ridge along this dirt road is a great spot to have if you have the teammates that can kind of handle, you know, the wide open like that and be responsible. But it's a really good spot to hang out on that ridge there and try and pick up some kills, because this whole Stallber area is so difficult to play. There's very little hard cover, so getting into that dirt road area early on, I think this is going to lead to some big kills for them in that spot.
Well, since I want to point out that one of our top teams here, Crazy Mob, just had a failed rotation to the top of Severny. They pulled back and then ran into a separate team. So 2 members are getting killed. Then also Bliv and Problems are stuck in the water outside of Severny because their vehicle got destroyed. So they're in a really tough spot right now. They could get eliminated here as one of the first teams out.
Bliv is waiting for Problems to catch up. They're going to try to take the boat to a different location and see if they can potentially play a shoreline somewhere. Maybe they'll just sit here on the boat. I think the boat's starting to take damage, so they're going to have to make a decision here pretty quickly.
I think they need to get in this boat, Stento. I mean, there's going to be nowhere for them to go, but now it's smoking.
They waited too long. It's not an option anymore. That boat
Wow.
is exploded.
They're lucky that Bloodhound kind of pushed back a little bit, and there's also GEs over here, so it could kind of help prevent BH from going back to the shoreline potentially.
This is a mess.
Yeah, they were driving down this main road here, which is pretty dangerous in itself, honestly. The back of Severny, because there often is a team here, and even though they had 2 vehicles, it just went south quickly.
Yeah, this is such a bummer for these guys. If this isn't our first place team, they are definitely close. So Crazy Mob with little to no options here.
Yeah, I want to point out another top team. Vigorous is climbing Stalber right now, Mount Stalber, and up there, TXC, TLL. Vigorous is not in the zone, so they need to decide, are they going on foot? Are they going to get back in this vehicle? It looks like they might be leaving the vehicle, Sento, which to me is very risky on Stalber to leave this vehicle, but they don't want to make noise, obviously, climbing into Stalber, so they're going to leave it. But it's never easy to fight into Stalber here with an aggressive team like TXC, but Vig could come in on a perfect third party here.
Yeah, Stalber's such a difficult area to play with all the hard cover and then with the ridges that kind of drop off around it. So TXC in a horrible position here in between the Lady Lasers and Vigorous. But this could work out in any fashion. It honestly could work out in any direction. It depends how this Edge team pushes in. And it looks like they've found real estate. So this doesn't need to happen quite yet. Phase 3 has just circled up. Noxy Ghosted are closest to this TXC squad, who seem to be pushing south down onto that dirt road. Tactical is leading the way away from this. So they were in a really bad spot. It seems they kind of identified that and slipped out of it. Blitz. They were directly in between 2 teams, and I think they kind of figured that out.
Wow. I wonder if they did, or if it's just one of those moments of like fate where they just decided to leave there, because that was really surprising, because they're an aggressive team. And but maybe they're trying to play a little bit more tactically here, because they haven't been performing as well. And Sento, looks like we got a lot of teams very close to each other on the west side of the map. I don't see any shooting yet, but I think we're going to have to see some soon. Torch, CK very close to one another with the teams at Severny, and somehow Problems Crazy made it into Severny. I don't know how that even is possible.
I think they just tried to find a time and ran in there. I think a couple of teams, there were several teams in here. A couple teams rotated out, so they just found a time. They did lose Bliv, but Problems is now in a decent spot here for a solo. He might be able to pick up a couple kills if GE is not clean with their rotation here. But a member of Torch, 2 members of Torch now, OH and Snipey, have already entered the city, trying to look for those kills, probably waiting for rotation, because they do have light and precision hanging out just to the west on that ridge, probably monitoring, giving them a little bit of comms. And wow,
we saw this last week, Stento, where the team has split here.
I didn't even notice CK coming in with the third party. Pixel has been fragging out tonight as well. He seems to be the main fragger for this squad. A little bit of the type of player that people will send ahead, you know, like a Noxy, someone like a Quavoff, someone that can extend on their own. Oh, wow, and the third party comes out from GE a little bit more to the north side. Bully gets an amazing headshot onto Pixel for 98 damage. You can see this is like his second or third knock. He's chunking by 3 chunks.
Oh no, they lost Coma. Now they're going to lose.
Let's get Bully's
Pixel
angle
there
on this. He can see this very well. He saw the revive coming down. No problem. He's already picked up 3 kills. So Gemini Esports starting to find a bit of their groove here, picking up 4 kills already. And They have the city to work with. They've got cars in there, and they already have another knock. He's not connecting on any of these shots through the smoke, however, so I think they're going to be able to get that revive off onto Coma.
Yeah, lights here. Nade's coming in, but it's going to be too short. He's going to get the flush on Precision here, I think. I'm sorry, that's his teammate. Oh my god, I thought that was the enemy CK. My apologies there.
No, they are going to be able to get that revive off onto Precision, however. CK was hard pushing onto Torch. They already had a knock, and the third party from GE kind of prevented all this, and it kind of starting to crumble this round for CK. Their aggressive play coming back to bite them a little bit, but
it totally did.
Kind of a little bit of an unexpected third party rather than just an even battle that they lost. We've seen them fragging out versus whoever they fought today, but that
totally GE really screwed them there on that third party, and Bully with those big knocks.
Yep. Now CK, they did pick up 7 kills already, so this round is not a loss by any means, but down to just Bizarre. He's in zone, but he's got a lot of teams around him. THE center zone looking this way. Torch is pushing in from the edge, as will that Gemini esports squad.
Wow, Vigorous on the east side. Phase 4 is being held out of the zone center by Winner Circle. Their whole team's in the zone center, but no one's down. As I say, that Prodigy goes down.
Oh wow, Noxy trades a couple of Noxy. It's just Binny now for Winner Circle. Joined in on this fight a little bit late to figure out exactly what was going on. Binny's got the VSS in his hand. I've seen this man use this gun before, but it's actually a third party from Boatman on the side with that Mutant. We're seeing a lot of the Mutant being used today. Boatman featuring it a couple times, leading the way here for TXC that's kind of moved south away from this battle and found the right time to push back to the north side and get involved. Boatman leading the way with the Mutant. They've already got 3 kills, TXC.
Yeah, and VK is on the other side here. They picked up 1 from Vigorous. So Vigorous just, again, that leaving the vehicle kind of hurt their rotation. They just had to go down this hill with so many other teams, which ultimately did not pay out for them. And then TXC, VK here, probably going to brawl it out to get down this next level of the hill.
Yeah, this is a heavyweight battle here with Boatman Tacticals and TXC versus this VK squad, which we know can frag 2 of our damage leaders so far, Tony and Quavoff on this squad. Be very
How about THE here?
Yeah.
Excuse me, they're in the middle. There's just so many teams fighting for contention right now, Stento, for the first 4 matches. I love this. I feel like it could be anybody's game. So many good teams are still up. Even RR, they have 0 kills, but they're still in. They just placed in 2nd place or 3rd place last match, excuse me. So just a lot of things to look out for here. There's going to be a lot of teams fighting for top 3.
DK actually decided to take a vehicle down the road a little bit. They're going to use that dirt road ridge there. Charm almost got a knock on the rotation, but now he's going to need to be careful. He's got Tony looking at him with the MK. He does have a little bit of a ridge here to work back to his squad with, however. So Charm, 35 HP. He's going to need to get a heal off quickly. VK rotated it into that spot I was talking about earlier, Blitz, the dirt road with the ridge here. Although,
smart
as
spot.
you push towards the center of zone, it kind of thins out. So this is a really thin ridge here, and they're almost exposed to the north side here. So this is running out. Time is not in their favor here. They're going to need to try to potentially get a knock onto a squad and push. We know that they're capable of that, and we know how opportunistic they are with their knocks. And again, time is running out for them here. Actually, a great shift keeps them in here, so they might be able to work with what they were given now. And now RR also on the edge of zone here. So this center zone is just devastating. That's why you see nobody in the center, because it's just wide open. So teams have been fighting on the edge for a long time here. There's been a couple compounds, the gas station and that RR compound to the northeast, that were really good for a while, but they're going to become unplayable eventually, as I think we're going to end somewhere in the middle of THE and VK.
Yeah, really what's interesting is look at 187. Well, first of all, Bizarre is fighting the last. He was in the shed here, gets Torch and gets the flush for Light, excuse me. But I'm pretty sure here the rest of Torch is going to be able to take out Bizarre. They are. So I want to kind of focus up on the 187 squad, because they are 4 strong still, Sento. They're going to be able to move into the edge of this compound, which nobody's at. Only a tip of it's in, but they might have a good fight out of here. And Ernster,
he's given
holy
hell.
crap.
He's given hell to the TXC squad. He had tacticals and Boat knocked. I'm actually not sure if he knocked tacticals. I know he knocked Boat, but unfortunately, he's not going to get any of those kills. TXC doing a great job of staying 4 deep. They're going to deal with Ernster out in 8th place, doing a good job of trying to pick up some extra kills there for MG, who was in 2nd place
look at
last
this.
I checked. So every point matters for this squad right now, and VK beginning to peer over the mountain now.
This push is going to end up killing TXC here. They went and got 1 point, and it's going to cost them the game potentially here because VK is able to just get on top of them. And also insane is I just don't think it was worth to go into that dip. But then again, like you mentioned, there's really nowhere to go in the center zone. So
yeah, I didn't see what brought them down there. I don't know if they were searching for the kill or if they were just kind of trying to rotate along the southern side and found Ernster.
yeah,
that
probably
way.
that, honestly,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't
But
see
still,
how it happened. But VK is going to take any opportunity they have. They saw Ernster get a couple of knocks and they were on the move, you know.
for sure. I mean, the best teams really kind of swarm on you quickly here. Now they're just going to be frustrated and.
They have no option here, so they're just going to deny kill points. We've seen this a number of times. And VK is a team that is in contention. They have several points here. I think they're in like 3rd or 4th. Was that an accident, or they? I think their only option is to deny kill points here. I think they're
Yeah, but they're not doing it now. So you're right. Like, what was that about? I'm not sure.
And they just, I don't know. They lost.
Very strange, man. Very strange decision there to see that come in, but the rest of this not, unless tactical's like disconnected or something.
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. That was definitely bizarre to what looked like deny kill points, but then kind of backtracked on that decision.
Yeah, and then this allows RR to get some level 3 gear out of the crate there.
Interesting. I thought they were denying kill points. Now it felt like they were feeding them points.
Yeah,
we'll move
interesting.
on. RR still 4 strong here. It looks like they're pushing up the hill, and they know VK is on the top. 2 devastating with that MK is Tourney. Straight headshots onto Wiz. He goes down quick. Tragic End is going to be the real X factor here as he's pushed right up onto them against the blue.
Yeah, he needs to make a big move here, and Quavoff though finds him quickly. It actually goes down to Sweezy though.
Yeah, he chose the wrong guy to shoot at, which he didn't really realize. He caught the guy furthest on the edge, and then furthest towards the center, and then the edge guys got a little bit better shot on him. But VK is not a team you can afford to miss your shots on. It's going to be just 1 member left.
Wow, how deflating is that, VK, to just roll over the hill? You lost your advantage there, care package. Only 1 member up for RR. Meanwhile, we're going to see maybe 187 try to skirmish and third-party torch here. It's going to be between THE, 18Z, and Torch in the middle. THE's left the gas station. 2-2 split here. Italian and Sky flanking. Legend getting snipey now.
The third parties are a big factor in this battle split.
Last 2 members of THE are actually going to push up here, but they have to worry about VK to their east.
Yeah, this was a messy battle. Torch got caught in the middle of THE and the 187Zs. It's just OH left. He really has little to nothing to work with. Everything is happening on this side of zone. VK is alone on the northeast side, and depending on how quickly this shakes out, if they get their foothold into center zone here, I think this is VK's game to lose.
Oh, for sure. Once you get about like half of the circle there, I feel like you can just clean up all the kills. But I just want to point out that THE left the gas station and RR flipped sides and got behind THE, so they can't join their squad until they try to get Shanks out here. He's forced to kind of leave the gas station. Izzy gets him, so now they're going to be able to rejoin the squad. Like you mentioned, OH last one up, but we're in our final 4. It's 4v4v1, so another kind of full final 4 except for Torch here.
Yeah, OH can play spoiler here for sure. I think that most teams are pretty happy with where they are. VK definitely has the advantage as they have a really good spread, a couple of care package weapons, and more center zone stake than the rest of these teams. But THE have found a way to get rid of that solo, and they're 4 deep on a decent spread of their own. And the 187Zs kind of have a good spread as well. So a lot of these teams have a decent amount of area to work with right now. But that's going to end real quickly here. And it looks like Circle unfavored VK. So they're going to have to pull their way across into these other teams. And we'll see exactly how they manage that in just a moment here, because they've got just under a minute left. It looks like they're going to start to kind of group up on the north side. I'm watching Tourney kind of push back towards the rest of the squad on that north side. He's leading the way with 6 kills with that MK Blitz, with the MK 8X on auto. You know, he's just been really cleaning things up here for this squad, which has had us a little bit of a slower tournament than we've expected. But this is going to launch them right towards the top if they can clean up this game.
For sure, but you're right, like you said, this is going to be tough. They're going to have a big fight with THE. I've been watching Tony. He's been hitting some good shots, tries to rip the auto shot, loses control a little bit there. If Insane hears this shooting, they're probably going to come from behind. So Tony needs to get this quick. He finally takes out Perks as fast. He's trying to check his back as well here. They need VK to push really quickly up against the blue and rotate to get these last few kills.
Yeah, this is the time where the 187Zs need to get involved. Unfortunately, they're pushing towards the solo. Savage does them in really quickly here. And unfortunately, we've got just knocks all over the place. It's only Izzy left for THE. And there are some revives happening out here for VK.
Tony goes down from Legend there.
So the timing is working out really well for the 187Zs. We got to get into their perspective. Savage
Yeah,
kind of
it's
leading
just
the
okay
way for
left.
the squad.
OK's trying to get a revive on the edge of blue, but they're not in, so they're going to be chasing the blue as they run in. Team 9 eliminated. That's THE, so it's just a 4v2 right now after that revive.
It's going to depend exactly how quickly they get this heal off and what Oki can do as a solo on the edge of zone. He takes a big shot that drops him below half health. The 187Zs have got too big of a spread. This is definitely their game now. They've got one person to deal with, and it's Oki. I would say this is GG's, but we've seen a 4v1 tonight, so I'm not calling anything. The 187Zs have gotten up to 10 kills here, and they're cleaning up just about everything with that split, a little bit of circle favor, and Oki does drop one of them. We need to be careful here. It's just one bullet that needs to land from Legends, and he does the job, gets the trade for his teammate Savage, and that's 12 kills and the chicken dinner for this squad. The 187Zs getting it done, Blitz.
How many teams are we going to see get a 12-kill game today, Stento? No one's pulling any 21-kill games, but we're seeing multiple different teams end with this kind of 9, 10, 11, 12 score at the end game. I feel like we've seen that many times tonight. Congratulations to 187 squad, finally clutching it up there at the end, taking out VK and surviving that onslaught because of the battle with THE, who finished in 2nd and 3rd, respectively, Torch in 4th, and RR in 5th, respectively. Another great match there, and another team taking home the dub. I keep saying it over and over again, but we're going to have a bunch of these teams in contention for top 3, which is amazing. So many teams very close there at the end.
Yeah, I think you said it as we started off here. I think we've had 4 different teams with 12 plus kill wins. It was Crazy Mob. I'm not even going to try and name all 4. We've seen four different winners between Crazy Mob, Vigorous, and now the 187Zs, and I'm leaving one out there, but
yeah, I'm forgetting the second team there, but yeah,
Torch.
It's gone around.
Torch won game 2 there. So again, we've seen tons of different teams and individuals fragging out here. It's going to be a very hotly contested game 5. Quite literally, probably going to see a hot drop at School Apartments between the team that just got wiped there in the first 2 games. We saw the 187Zs lose a hot drop on School Apartments in game 1 and game 2, and then game 4 they clean wipe that FSG squad out of there and go on to win the game. So ties can turn just like that. You know, you're probably at that point considering, are we even going to drop Apartments again? You do it, you wipe the squad, and you get the chicken dinner there. So a little bit of faith going back into their IGL, I'm sure, after a little bit of what the heck are we doing here situation. But unbelievable work by them. We're going to get Lobby 5 set up, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be back with that action in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
GG's.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Main Gaming Weekly Series. Match 5, the plane is loaded up. It is taken off. And we're heading back to Millie Base, it looks like, from Gatka here, Blitz. A plane path like this, we know, has a very high chance of actually going down south. So it's going to be very interesting to see who gets out of the plane early, who gets onto the island early, and how these teams rotate. So this first shift is going to be big time.
Sure. I mean, we've said this many times over the years now together, Sento, that we've been doing this stuff together. But first plane path, first circle has to touch the plane path here, which allegedly might be coming to the regular version of PUBG and the big maps now when they make some of the new changes in the next update. So I have to pay attention to that because they are reducing match time for Erangel, Miramar, and Tago, which is interesting. Going to be a 28-minute match now for people that didn't know that. And so yeah, high percentage chance that we're going to see a low circle, or we could even see like a melted power circle. We haven't seen one of those today. Could drop back at the military base, maybe a quarry, right? Something in that area. We'll find out. A lot of teams, not as many teams as we thought going to the military base, but a lot of people playing that shoreline from Team 12 all the way down to WC. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams on the shoreline there, and we get our first circle popping. It is kind of a quarry circle, but people are still in at Georgia Pole South.
Yeah, we've seen this circle before once today. That swamp area kind of featured in the center zone. So BH, MG, TLL, the same 3 teams who were really in a good spot for that first circle up last round. And we saw them all do pretty well. So we're going to, keep an eye on those 3 squads who are already pretty centered up. Main Gaming has been having a great tournament. I think they're in like 3rd place last I checked, so we know they're going to be taking this last round real serious. I was focused on the school apartments area, and it looks like finally those 2 have went their separate ways. I don't think the plane path was really conducive to a apartments drop, but FSG still stretched it out, and the 187Zs decided that after a nice chicken dinner with 12 kills that we're going to pull off that hot drop and see if we can squeak into the money here. If you're just joining us, oh, go ahead.
I was saying with a big game, they probably could, right? So I think it was a good call.
Yeah, absolutely. I was about to say, if you are just joining us, every Monday we hold this weekly series event. It is open to anyone who plays PUBG on console, and it is free to join with a $1,000 prize pool. First place will be taking home $500 tonight, all the way down to 4th place, taking home $50. So I definitely believe that after a nice chicken dinner there, since we've seen 4 different winners tonight, that the 187Zs, although I think they were pointless through the first 3 maps, 22 points in match 4, jumps them right back into the conversation, and with a strong final round, I think they could even jump all the way to the top of the leaderboard. So we'll keep a close eye on those 187Zs. Taking a look at the map, as we said, they hot dropped 3 out of 4 rounds tonight with that FSG squad on apartments. They decided this round, after a nice chicken dinner, let's let our fighting in the end game be the reason that we lose this tournament and don't take home some big dollars today. So I like the play. They've already got, I think they got a vehicle off the droplets. I'll have to actually take to the skies to confirm that. Actually, excuse me, that was the other team dropped on the vehicle. So I don't know if the 187Zs are going to have a rotation out of here. They might be stuck on foot.
They usually have a couple options here. Oh, look, Snipus already headed over to the compound to the north there. There's a garage and the more vehicles that are usually spawning by the bridge. So they'll definitely be able to find one, but I'm flying around and I don't see too many here. Let me check the garage.
Blitz, I didn't see what happened, but GE crashed or something because there's one player who is half health picking up 2 players that are full dead and their car is smoky over here. So a little bit of a broken ridge almost takes out their
wow
entire team. I didn't exactly see. They must have been taking shots from someone because Musty is dead. The other players were weak and they crashed and not everyone died.
Yeah, I think
they must have been kind of damaged from driving past our team.
I think they landed around ruins there. I saw them kind of split around ruins, so I'm guessing that happened around there while we were chatting away. So yeah, we're still at 67 people, so I think only one person, Musty, has been eliminated so far. Teams starting to make their way in. TXC.
Yeah, Musty4GE is the only person who's been eliminated. We still have 17 teams, 67 players alive, 5 minutes into this game, which is so different than any other weekly series event we've hosted, Blitz. Almost all the time, match 5 has several hot drops. And as opposed to early on, we saw hot drops. We saw teams kind of retract from that, taking it a little more serious. So it just kind of speaks to the level playing field we have here today. There are so many teams that are involved for these money places that even a team that had 0 points in the first 3 rounds just jumped in with a chicken dinner and then are now in the running. So everyone's taking this serious. This is not a throwaway round like we've seen in the past. Usually match 5, we'll see people hot drop. We'll see people drop by themselves. We'll see people do all sorts of crazy stuff. But we didn't see a single team do that this time. Everyone is pretty much still in the running here tonight.
Very well said. And we're actually seeing CK might run into Team 9 here on the northwest side of the zone. But really well said, Sento. I mean, normally, I won't repeat what you said, but you're spot on. Normally people are, getting eliminated pretty quick here, but so many people are in contention. It's kind of been the theme of tonight, which we like to see. Parity amongst the players.
So CK pulled up on the north side just to get a look at what's going on in this compound just below them. They know THE is there. They're starting to kind of exchange shots. Perhaps looking for a knock. We know how aggressive this team has been today, but this is not a spot you can hold long term. If people start to pull up all around, they're going to reconsider this. It looks like they're going back for the cars. The thing that they might not realize, Blitz, is that THE is split. So this is only 2 players here. The other 2 are to the east at that compound that's just next to the swamp. So CK rotating on the shore side here, perhaps having another look at this, seeing exactly what they're up against. We know they've been aggressive all day today, but it looks like they're going to push past and take this twin building compound, perhaps, maybe the shack, or a little bit of the ridges on the farm field. They're still moving, so I'm going to stop guessing where they're going, but they have rotated away from THC.
I think that's kind of a smart play. BH is here, though. They're looking for some shots. Muerte is. For sure, we might see 666 get caught here a little bit. First shot's coming in, hitting around the car.
There you go. They're going full Shrek on this one, pulling up in the swamp together. First circle will be shifting in just under 2 minutes, so we've got a little bit of time on our hands. As we said, so many teams in contention for the $1,000 worth of prizes today that we didn't see a single hot drop in match 5, which is so much different than anything we've ever witnessed. Usually we've seen multiple teams eliminated at this point. Under 10 minutes in, we've just seen all sorts of hot drops in our final match of the evening, but it's been such...
Yeah, I actually kind of like this, though, because I feel like the suspense is really going to build here, Stento. And the games, we've seen a lot of full, like phase 4 zones with so many people still alive. So I think it's really going to build here. And there are a lot of small little compounds that people can kind of stay alive at with this zone here on the west side. There's so many areas. Nobody's even in quarry yet. There's still a couple areas around hospital that could hold a team or 2. You also have RR and CE sent up both taking boats on the bottom side of the map, and actually that's open, right? So they're going to be okay to get in. We might see all these teams happy and cozy in their in zone 1.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And I would like to just point everyone to our scoreboard. I'll post it in the chat in just a moment, but the Virtual Kings, with that second place that they just had, have slipped into first place. They are now on top of the leaderboard with 48 points. Torch is in second place with 45 points. Crazy Mob, third place with 38. Vigorous, fourth place with 34. So those are our money spots: 500, 300, 200, 150 and 50. And Main Gaming is sitting in 5th place with 29. Between 5th place down to 10th place is all teams with just about 20 points that could arguably jump all the way into first place. So our entire left half of the leaderboard and some of the right half fully still in contention here for not only money spots, but for first place.
Super, super close here, and VK's got to be really careful. They jumped up 3 spots, Stento, with that last match.
Yeah,
So,
even though they didn't get the win, it was some big kills out of them and a second place that was enough to push them into first place. We saw
this is really exciting to see. I mean, as Stento just said, basically there are 9 teams that are above 20 points here that are super, super close in contention, and we just got a southern circle drop here. Going back to quarry, so we might see a quarry finish. We're getting a little bit of a skirmish on the north side of the map because of a rotation here, but more importantly, we're about to see Vigorous, a top team, I think, have a skirmish here with Bloodhound. I don't think Bloodhound wants this early fight. They're kind of backing up. Thought we were going to see it. Because we do see some fighting on the north side.
Yeah, Bloodhound all have their own vehicles, so they were considering / maybe trying to get a little bit better zone, but Vigorous was standing strong here, pushes them away. Vigorous is in a very good spot. They're going to play this ridge. It's very popular just on the side of this
It is
compound here, which if you do go into the compound where Noxie is, you're very limited to what you can do because of this big ridge right behind. So oftentimes you'll see 1 or 2 get sent down there, and a couple maybe of the more frag heavy players sitting up on this ridge, not only keeping a lookout but trying to pick up some kills. I think Ghosted, considering at least bringing the car down there and hanging out with Noxie, they don't want someone to pull up into this compound, because then it kind of limits their abilities here to frag out and kind of roam these hills for free. So they're going to keep a 2-2 split for now. I really like it. Vigorous is in a great spot. TXC taking a little bit of a split amongst Quarry, and Main Gaming also found themselves in the Quarry. So lots of teams into center spots here. We're seeing some knocks break out on the edge of zone. THE and CK, a little bit of some drive-by action going down here. Bazaar is going to get knocked. The rest of CK is not close enough to deal with this knock onto Italian that they got. So the 3 members for THE are going to set up, get the smokes out, and try to prevent any sort of a push here from the console killers.
Yeah, Bazaar caught Italian there, but then the rest of THE came in with the drive-by play, and this is a tough push for CK to leave their compound, right? It's pretty risky, and FSG is actually pulling up behind them, Stento, right now. Let's see how aggressive they get.
They mollied themselves, I think. A molly landed right next to Italian there. And
oh, interesting. I didn't see it.
No one on the other team.
FSG in the compound. They made it into the 2-story blue building. Como's going to hear this on his headphones soon. He hasn't heard it yet. I don't think he's recognized that there's too many shots. He's actually shooting. Como's shooting, so he hasn't heard anything yet.
Great shots with the 4X on the SKS.
Oh, they're right underneath him. They opened a door, and Coma's not responding yet. What's going on here?
He doesn't realize yet, and he actually took a heady there as his teammate gets knocked. That opens the door for Turbot to just run in and blaze some hip fire straight into the dome, and FSG making quick work of CK right there. Coma was getting a thirst from long range, and you got to question that headset. He might be time for a new one.
SEAL team Turbot there with, okay, I understand not hearing the footsteps because they're both shooting, but the door opening though, maybe he thought it was his teammate, right? Sometimes you do that. You see your teammate next to you, you think, okay, he's in the building. There's so much going on, but wow, that was super unfortunate. Great push by FSG.
Yeah, this team's been, excuse me, able to win lots of fights tonight. They just haven't been able to get into the right spot end game. And we know they've been skirmishing with 187Zs for the apartments. So it's been a little bit of a battle there as well. But we've seen some impressive frag abilities out of this squad. I'm excited to watch them hopefully in future events.
Yeah, THE now is fighting in the bottom side of the swamp. They just took out Solar there, and the rest of GE is actually a little bit more north. Before we get into more fighting, I just wanted to bring something up here that I kind of noticed and I think is interesting after casting so many events that Quavoff has been a part of and also won, that because they're in the lead, I was just thinking about this. I know their playstyle. He's an aggressive player, but when they're in the lead, they play very smart, and they're going to be really hard to beat on the lead because I know that they're going to slow down their play, Sento, and just focus on getting like a top 2, top 3 finish, maybe getting the dub and just securing first place.
Yeah.
I doubt we're going to see them playing aggressive at all here. So really, other teams are going to have to make some aggressive plays against them to maybe get them out potentially. So I just want, people listening to pay attention to that, because it's going to be interesting. They're very smart players. Quavov obviously has won so many events. So the veteran in this kind of situation.
Yeah, it's a great point that you bring up. They're typically just a super aggressive team that can get so many kills that I'm not going to say placement doesn't matter, because they win a lot of the matches that they're in. But it's oftentimes, getting a third, fourth, fifth doesn't really matter because they're so high up there on the kills. And in a situation like this where they feel comfortable holding a good position, trying to go for that first place, they're so good from range that these guys will still pick up kills, Blitz. So as you can see, Tourney already dropped one and they got the thirst immediately. So playing unaggressive, it is smart for these guys, but they're still such good long-range shooters that the Virtual Kings will be able to slowly stack kills here from this location and from long range. So it was a great point that you brought up, and I just wanted to add that onto there, that they have the ability to kind of turtle up, in a sense, in a situation where they have a 3-point lead going into the final game, because they know that they can get those kills from long range if they are in a decent spot. Right now, they're not going to need to worry about rotating at all. They're just going to sit in that compound, pick up whatever they can for now, and then make that push as a team later on. And we'll make sure
that's such a great compound to be at, right? It allows you to really rotate anywhere here. And actually, the circle just gives them a huge favor.
Yeah, they're going to be able to hold that compound and then just push up the hill late. So
most of the teams are on the southwest side of the zone, Stento. BH going deep into the blue to try to outlast shots from Vigorous. This is insane. All these teams getting stuck on these
Shadow
rotations.
Goes down to blue zone there. Ghosted's looking for the knock, can't exactly find it, but they're picking up several kills here. They've now picked up 2. One of them goes to the blue zone. They're going to peek into the blue here for a little bit of loot. But Vigorous, one of our top teams, in a good spot here, but they are going to have to rotate in 20 seconds, and they've got a long rotation ahead of them.
Wow, yeah, it's just a brutal zone shift. And I also just want to point out to you, Stento, that 187 has a compound to themselves on the north side of the zone. All these teams are going to be rotating from the south. That's where the action's going to be. So 187 could kind of weather the storm here for another top placement.
It'll be interesting to see a team go from 0 points in the first 3 matches to potentially a top 4 placing money finish. I am rooting for it very seriously.
Oh, Vigorous in a really dangerous spot here. Ghosted has very little health here. They're trying to get in vehicles and get out. This could be a huge mess for Vigorous. But it looks like they've gotten everyone into vehicles. Ghosted now bandaging. TLL driving through RR. It's just chaos on the bottom side here.
Yeah, I'm kind of trailing Vigorous, watching them push into this RR. TXC just above them as well.
TXC above them.
And trading out some good shots. Noxy pushing back.
Well, this nade might hit Gravy just before they get there.
Oh my god.
Somehow they stay alive.
It doesn't stop. Noxy is doing a great job of providing some cover fire. They might be able to pull up at this Harry Potter, but they're going to continue.
Oh no, there's MGs over there. And they're going to take this gnarly little dip here, Stento.
This is super gnarly early on, but depending on how much smoke you have, depending on, what angles people have, you might be able to make this happen. But Blitz, 13 teams, 44 alive. The odds are they're going to get shot at here.
Yeah, they're temporarily okay, but as more people fill here, again, Torch is looking for a spot. TXC is now skirmishing with C on the west side. GE team's just been eliminated with Red Eye going down.
Yeah, there is just too many players trying to find their way in here, and Tactical is just proving to be an absolute menace for this Capricorn Esports team. But it's phase 4 to 5, so he can't hang out here too long. He's chunking by 3 HP each time. He needs to consider a first aid here, but he is going for the run. This is not going to work out for him, I don't think. He might be able to get carried into zone here.
I think so, potentially, which is what an epic feature added to PUBG here.
Yeah, we are watching it in its prime being used here. Tacticals saved by his teammate Boatman. They're going to be able to get their revive off, excuse me. And there's still a member or two on the edge.
And Vigorous pushed MG here. Gravy's down. I don't know if you want to flip over to this because Main Gaming is trying to defend here as they're letting kind of Noxy go for a revive. I'm trying to see if a throwable might come out the window. Will Will Ernster make a push? He's got the M249, but then immediately gets headied from...
Some good cover fire.
Who
from
was
Ghosted.
that?
They're going to charge into this warehouse now. It was Ghosted up on the ridge. And Doc providing some great cover fire. Nox Gravy, but Noxy there to trade it out. And not only does he trade it out, he drops Acid Burn as well. So Noxy going huge for one of our top teams here. Main Gaming a little bit too spread here. Swag in the 3-stack is not going to be able to help any of these 3 knocks. Vigorous is going to pick up
super
all
unfortunate.
these kills and be able to get... Oh, not back to 4 strong. Ghosted is thirsted out there from Tremis up on the hill with the mutant in his hand. I love to see this. TXC had a little bit of an underwhelming first 4 rounds by their standards. They've got such a good team here. They're hanging out in like 10th place right now, but they have 18 points. With a good win, they will definitely be able to jump into the mix here, and they've already got 6 kills. So keep an eye on TXC.
187 is fighting with THE here. 187 needs to win this fight to stay alive, and THE trying to see where they are right now. I think they're in 6th as of last match, so they also need this to try and stay in the top 5.
Very much in contention here. This is a big battle breaking out on the edge of zone. Smokes are down as the 187Zs try to find their way off this edge, and I feel like it's a abbreviated THE. Yeah, they've lost perks, so it's just 3 of them trying to hold off the 4-man THC. Excuse me, 187Z. There's a lot of letters.
Savage tries to turn, but got stunned there.
Wow, Skytoy actually drops 2 of them, but now Savage
Italian come over the top.
Yep, Italian over the top. It's just 1 member left. It's going to be insane for this 187Z. Excuse me, mistake for this 187Z squad. In a great hold there for THE.
Big hold from THE. They've lost a lot of members, though. It's just Italian up. Italian did a great job of spraying, then pulling off there just at the last second, the perfect time not to get hit himself. But looks like he's actually going to run from Crazy Mob here because they want the extra points. They just picked up 10 kills there. I didn't realize they were already at 10. And also, I want to shout out, I didn't know their name stood for Trigger Happy Esports. I love that because it's obviously spells the. So it's a pretty awesome name to have in the esports world. Shout out to Trigger Happy.
Yeah, loss has gone down, Blitz. Vigorous reduced to just 1 player in Prodigy. They do have 8 kills. So, meanwhile, all of this has broken down, and VK really has not left.
Like I said, they were gonna turtle.
Yep, and they
and
picked
then
up
come
3
out.
kills in the meantime too. This is their.
It's not going to be enough though, Stento, because the teams. Well, Crazy Mob is big here because Crazy Mob was in 3rd, Torch was in 2nd, Torch is out. So now VK doesn't need to worry about Torch. They just need to worry about Crazy Mob. So if Crazy Mob wins this fight, this is it here for first potentially.
This is a first place fight. We're about to watch it, ladies and gentlemen. The real winners today are us. We're about to watch a crazy battle. These teams are separated by 3 points, and VK, Crazy Mob about to break out a massive battle on the northeast side of zone.
So really here, Crazy Mob is sort of holding VK out, right? Because they have to go through them. If they go to the west, they could get third party a little bit. There's not too many people up on the west, though. Crazy Mob is down a member, and then with Dreams, now it's 4v2. This is bad for Crazy Mob. Nade coming in. Bliv hitting some nice shots, though, and Sweezy, excuse me.
This is trouble. Tony gets in there, thirsts his nade knock. He's going to use the rock for a little bit of an angle. He can't find the 2 members for Crazy Mob, and there's actually another member.
Bliv has Italian behind him too, so now they're kind of stuck. Bliv's trying to make it down this hill as fast as he can. Oh, they're just getting third-partied here. Sweezy gets Bliv. And now Droppa's getting third-partied from the side.
Yeah, this was just too tough. Actually, Droppa does get 1 more kill.
A nasty.
There. Yeah, nasty little bit of a spray onto Prodigy from long range. But VK in full control coming over the hill there. As soon as that nade from Tony landed onto Dreams, it was kind of good night for the Crazy Mob. This squad has full control, and there's just 2 solos that they got to deal with. We've seen this exact scenario before. So once again, I'm not going to make any assumptions, but I think this is full control for VK. It took them a little while to get going here tonight, Blitz, but once they did, a big kill, 2nd place is what actually propelled them into 1st place. And then closing it out with a nice conservative win here. They've got 6 kills. They're most likely going to make it 7 onto Tremis unless we witness some spectacular mutant work out of the kid.
Wow, and I gotta imagine Quavoff here, X Factor, just been again. I don't mean to be blowing smoke up there, but just has obviously won so many events here, and I'm sure kind of just methodical gameplay with knowing these zones and how to play them. And I think he might be going. I was gonna say maybe for a fist battle here. Runs up with his fists and still gets the last kill.
Yeah,
7 total kills for
you can
VK.
see the red dot spray with the crouch spam, just impossible to deal with, and it's just a solo in Tremis. He had the backup. He had nothing to worry about. Once they got through the crazy mob, Virtual Kings were going to take home the $500 prize. The final game is a 7-kill chicken dinner. I'm going to get back to our split screen here for 1 second.
Sure.
Unbelievable event tonight, Blitz. We've often seen certain teams, maybe some of our veteran teams, run away with some of these events. I don't think we've ever had an event that 10 teams with a good final game could have not only jumped into the money but into first place. So that was just such a pleasure to watch. And as I just said, VK taking home the chicken dinner, but winners tonight was everyone watching this PUBG. There's just unbelievable display from so many teams.
Yeah, this was definitely one of my favorite events of recent memory. I mean, we've had some good ones where people do some memorable teams have done some memorable things, getting 21 kill games, 25 kill games in this kind of setting. But tonight, seeing everybody struggle to kind of take the lead. I mean, I think VK, that was their first actual win, I'm pretty sure, right? So we had different teams win every single game tonight. People super close, a lot of different teams in the top 5 as well. So yeah, absolutely, we're definitely the winners there with that. And but like you mentioned, Virtual Kings still able to make it there after a slow start. And a couple other teams so close kind of just fell out there at the end. It almost seems like that last zone really threw people off because people just weren't in a great spot. So many teams were on the south side that late circle shift north, I feel like caught a lot of people on the rotation. We saw so many people dying there. Vigorous kind of getting hurt. RR as CE. So many teams there getting taken out. And that's kind of where the cookie crumbles, I guess, when you get a zone like that.
Yeah, we saw a number of matches tonight where there was a ton of people, like 57 people in an end game scenario, and then it gets chopped down to under 20 in a couple minutes. So we saw some crazy circles. We had a milli zone. We almost went all the way up to military on Miramar near Oasis up there, and we saw some crazy north circles and some crazy west circles on our angle. So we were all over the place on the extremes of the map today, and these teams again just doing a really great job. It was so impressive to watch so many different teams in the mix tonight. So big shout out to all the different teams. Again, if you're watching tonight, please take the time to get to know these players and these teams. One of the requirements for our events is that each team has to have a player live with all comms. So we really want to start to build these teams and these organizations up and get to know their stories, man. A lot of interesting people out here grinding very hard. So please go shout out those players. Go tell them what's up and that you're supporting their orgs in these events. 5 matches goes by as a little bit quicker than I remember it, Blitz. But there it is. We'll be back here next week at the same time, 8 p.m. And again, if you're watching tonight, we want to make sure that you know that all of our main gaming events are free to join. And welcome to everybody. So please, if you're curious at all, make sure you're following the Main Gaming Twitter. Make sure you're following the Main Gaming Discord, and feel free to ask any of our Main Gaming streamers questions about our events. We'll be happy to get you involved. We've got competitive events. We've got community events, all sorts of charity events as well. So please don't hesitate to ask any one of our teammates, and we'll get you the answer, point you in the right direction, and get you involved. These events are meant for everyone. They're meant to grow the scene, and it's just an honor to be here for you guys. So thank you so much. Blitz, anything you want to say before we sign off tonight?
Not really, right? Today went by fast. I will just say that we didn't have a lot of games go to the very, very end, right? There was no city finishes with the zone closing in. So I think it made things speed up a little bit. But just on the back of what you said, obviously as a PUBG community, we got to stay together and stay strong. So make sure you are supporting the streamers. Make sure you guys are supporting Main Gaming out there for putting on the events and other organizations doing stuff like this. We kind of need to come together to keep it strong, which we are doing right now. So much love to everybody participating. Thank you guys for following the main gaming kick and other things that we've been doing. And obviously, we still have a lot of things planned. So make sure you guys are, stay tuned to all that stuff. And thanks to all the teams, first and foremost, for signing up and playing. And GG's, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Absolutely, guys. We'll throw the final scoreboard and some stats up on the screen. And once again, a massive shout out to Floss God. If you guys aren't following Floss God on Kick, make sure you get up in there. He's online most nights, I believe. He's usually on pretty late night. So make sure you go show him some love, and make sure you go look up his album, Welcome to the Battlegrounds, on both Spotify and iTunes, and go show him some love. Unbelievable album he put together, and I had such a fun time incorporating it in some of our breaks here tonight. So big shout out to Floss God. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'm back. PUBG, where you at? Let's get it. I'm a season 1 vet. See me at the top right of your screen, you better watch your step. Now come correct and grab a vest, cause I'm popping the SKS. Don't even got the scope, I still drop you cause I'm the best. Hop in the whip with the squad, now we headed up northwest. Don't need the circle touching me, I ain't really got the meds, but I got a couple mollies, might just use them hoes instead. Toss them in the window, hit the brake and watch it spread. Crashing on the compound with a squad and they all fled. Knocked one peeking on the wall, I shot him in the head. Ran up and he's crawling, caught him dropping all his meds. So where your team at? I bet they hiding in the shed. Yeah, it's all of the new players. Do me a huge favor, don't loot when the blues fading. You better go hit the train and right stick is heavily favored. More practice make you a laser, hot drop you never gon' make it. Just face it and stay patient. You gonna die a lot and probably gon' get frustrated. Just watch for snakes and pull down on the right stick when you aim it. A lot of haters in this game, so be ready for language and just play it. AKM with a bolt action, aiming at me, now you're soul bastard. Whole team dropped the toe tags. The AKM got about 4 mags. Go ahead and push me, I'm a soul snatcher. Better bring your whole squad when you're rolling past this. Floss guard in the passenger, pound jumping in the whip, yeah, we crashing, bruh. Stream clipping and we flipping like a spatula. Tears mopping in the whip, never blasted us. Now you fucking with some ghosts, not your average bus. And we running amok, so come test your luck and just rush. Everybody be acting like they're gonna bust. So if you see us in the fever, the duck.
Just landed on a car 9, I feel bad if you beat me. Whoever said they the best sniper, they probably just never seen me. I make it rain, we not the same, make drag sniping look easy. How quick I make you disappear, God, I'm thinking I'm a genie. I'm too official, and my shot clean, don't blow the whistle. 2-piece, that's a double dribble, popping heads like I'm popping pimples. FPP, TPP, still no one escapes me. Snipe like me, honestly, no one, that's a guarantee. It's over with. Floss God, I'm not the one to be fucking with. Bust it quick and I rarely miss. Light you up like a candlestick. Stream popping like fireworks. PUBG, this my occupation. Don't hesitate cause I fire first and I'll leave you dead laying on the pavement. I'm really feeling unstoppable. Get a gun and I'm dropping you. All you trolls so comical. Check your stats, you garbage juice. Not worthy. Positive but not scared of the controversy. I know the haters gonna try to serve me. If you come troll, I show no mercy. PUBG is my stomping ground. Turn the city to a ghost town. Facebook is where I'm found. It's enough views to go around. Spent 5 years on this game. No need for improvement. And shout out to my gang. Floss really, this a movement, bitch. Floss. Yo, Pound, you fucking killed that shit, bro. Sheesh. Floss really stand up. Big sheesh. You already know what the fuck it is.